Okay. Welcome to our 31st live weekly Satsang here at the Kriya Yoga School. I'm joined with our members Paul and Brian. Veronica couldn't make it today. She's working, but we carry on the Satsang like normal. Might be a little shorter, but might be a little longer. We'll see what happens here. So, how you doing, Paul and Brian? Feel free to share whatever you like.
I'm doing well. I just finished getting a brake job on my truck, so that as far as my day, that's what I was gonna go to work, but since it's a rainy kind of day here in Texas, and I usually take Wednesdays off from my studio yoga, so didn't have to be down that way, So I said, yeah, it would be a nice day to just take the day off and get that brake job taken care of. 500 bucks out of my pocket, but I can't stand that scraping sound. If I know something's wrong with my vehicle, I like desperately want to get it fixed. So got that taken care of, but yeah, that's what's been going on with me today.
Great. Sounds great.
I feel like
What about you, Brian?
I was just gonna say, I feel like when you organize your mind, that automatically organizes your life and things start to be cleaned up. So, the fact that, your vehicle has an issue, you want to get it fixed right away. It's just kind of like reflects back to your consciousness, you want to get any loose ends, you want to tie them up, and you want to get everything resolved. Basically, you want it to be simple, you want it to be clear,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to just like letting it out there and procrastinating and so I think that's good. I feel like that too, like things are, more organized. And yeah, for me, today, it's the morning here in Thailand, so I just did my morning yoga, hatha yoga, the asanas, and I'm really trying to motivate myself and do that every day because I have some like neck stiffness issue. That before I got some like divine message saying you need to like exercise that. So I'm back at that, and like my neck is already loosening up a little bit. And like when you do the asanas from this focus of Kriya Yoga, it's really just a meditation. It's like it's a slow moving meditation where you're connecting with God as opposed to, you're just getting some fitness in or something like that. It's a really deep spiritual practice because you feel God in every posture. You feel when you relax into it like that. It's really a spiritual experience. So yeah, I've been doing that in the morning, and then if I have time, I'll do my meditation after that. If I don't have time, I'll do the meditation in the evening. So I think either the morning or the evening works well for me. So yeah, that's what I've been up to this morning.
Great.
Yesterday we had our new moon holy fire yagna ceremony, which was profound.
Mm.
I did
Nice,
Brian
watch
was
nice.
it.
there. Oh, you
Um,
saw it.
I went to YouTube. Like I think I got the timing wrong because I went to YouTube and I didn't see where it said it was live. So I must have just went after the fact. And then I tried to get in the studio, and nobody was kind of there. So I was like, I must have missed it. But I listened to everything, and I liked a lot of the things you guys said. Something Brian had said about um, having to do with work and stuff, and just how we can affect other people in the world. And I was just thinking, yeah, that's very true. Like if you're bringing the light, you never know like how that's going to affect other people. And I had some nice experience with a customer the other day. Um, Even though I had like a lot of like negative energy that day because there was a bunch of taxes that had to be done. I was getting like depressed. Like as soon as I make a dollar, it goes out to pay a tax, or like the truck. I just like 500 bucks here, 1,000 bucks. Oh my god! So I was getting down, but a customer came in and we started chatting and made a little bit of money that day, but not nearly enough. But yeah, I could tell, like he enjoyed the conversation as much as I did, and hopefully he'll be a repeat customer now. But so yeah, I did. I liked the ceremony. There was other things that I wanted to touch on from the ceremony. Well, I liked watching Veronica, and it was kind of like when Chad went to downtown Miami. It was like it's nice to like see a scenery behind somebody that's like not their usual scenery.
Yeah.
kind of makes you feel like you're there with them. It's like, wonder what it's like there in Pebble Beach or wherever that was. So I enjoyed it. I always enjoy it. But yeah, reading The Voice of Babaji. So there's some really good stuff there in the question and answer section. So well, yeah, so one thing a topic was dedication, willpower, like it was, talking about mantras and how powerful the mantra is. And I had always thought like the verbal mantra was more powerful because of the spoken word, but Babaji said that like an internal mantra is even like harder to do for some people. I guess it could vary. So that, like he said, that's very powerful. And just like he said something about how like new people like get disappointed because they try and they don't achieve whatever samadhi or whatever, and they're in a kind of in a hurry, and they want to experience this. And I'm realizing how much like dedication and patience, that's like a big one for me. Like for me to like count off 108 beads while chanting a mantra, my mind wants to rebel from that. It's like, nah, like, I've got other things to do. It's like, but no, I need to like, that's like a practice of patience basically. And like how I can like slow my whole system down, because it's just like so go, go, go in this world, So I feel like it takes a lot of dedication and patience before you might even get to like a level where you're like, where I feel I should be. And then, of course there's me being hard on myself. I do the best I can. There's got to be balance also. So yeah, it's a slippery slope.
I think we shouldn't
Yeah.
compare ourselves
Oh,
to anyone else. Like we think like, oh, okay, this person, he's doing 108 malas, I need to do
Mm-mm.
108 malas. But you don't. I mean, if you resonate with that, then you do it. If you don't, you don't. And then
Mhm.
it takes a lot of the resistance out of the equation, because in the past they had to follow, more of a strict kind of routine, which had their own reasons for that. But now it's completely flexible to how we want to integrate it. And I feel that's a real benefit to us. So I personally don't feel the benefit in doing 108 malas usually.
Mhm.
Sometime there might be a specific focus where I want to specifically focus on the one God, but I have a lot of deities that I do mantras for and connect with. And I don't count like how I don't keep track of how many times I say the mantra. I just do it until I feel that's then enough. And sometimes it's just like maybe it's like 5 or 6 times, and then I'm already feeling this deep peace in me. So I feel okay, now it's time to move on to the next one. And then I just go, and I'm still going for, probably an hour of meditation. But so it's just I think there's no wrong answer really. Like if you want to spend 20 minutes or whatever, how long it takes to 108 malas, or if you want to do many different deities and then maybe do 108, but you're dividing it between all of the deities and all the different aspects of God. It's I don't think it's really different, just whatever is appropriate for you. So I just kind of flow with it and try not to allow my mind to get in and think too much about it, you know. So because before I was doing that, trying to project too much, like I need to be doing this, um, I need to be focusing on this. But if I just kind of like let go and get in that no mind state, then it's so much more simple and relaxing, you know. So
Good advice. Yeah, yeah, I think that sounded pretty good there. But
Yeah, I
still,
I agree. I agree with Brian. You just kind of do it. In yoga, they say do it till you feel it click. So you just kind of feel it click. Like I, the mantras are trying to like chain you and get you in that state of stillness and the state of samadhi. So once you're in that state of samadhi, you could just kind of let the mantra go. How many malas, how many raksha beads that is, who knows? It's different for everybody, but you just do what you can. And sometimes I get in a state like I can't even say the mantra yesterday. Like yesterday I was doing the yagna and I couldn't say the Kavacham Shield mantra. I kept saying the Guru mantra. So it was like a maybe I do need to do the Guru mantra more. You know, I don't really like doing the Guru mantra because it's almost like a ego play for me, right? Like I'm doing my own mantra to myself, you know, like I'm putting myself on a pedestal. So I kind of whiz by that usually, but like yesterday it kept coming up, so I had to stop myself and really focus on it. So it just depends which how many times makes you feel good, and when you're in it, it's only to get you in that state of stillness and the state of calmness and bring you into that state of samadhi. Once you're there, you can let all the mantras go. So how many raksha beads that depends on the person. Some people need a lot of raksha beads, like one mala. Some people need only a few, and they can get in that state. It just depends, but it's something you learn with practice. Like the more you do it, the more you say, okay, I only need, I'm good right now. So you only kind of trust your body how you want to do it. So yeah, but what Brian said, there's no real rule set. Like you're not like, it's not like the old days where like you have to do 10 malas of of the Krishna mantra, you know, or whatever, and now you could just go at your leisure. Like I really feel like doing Krishna today. Really uplifts me. Okay, Krishna it is. I'll do it as many times as I feel like, and then when I hear that click, I'll just stop and go about my day. Or yeah, it just depends. Some days you might not even need it. Some days you might need a little extra. So it just depends what really works for you.
is it the same theory as like the Tootsie Pop? How many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop? Remember that commercial?
Yeah, with the owl. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember it.
I'm a biter. I will
Yeah,
bite that sucker open.
yeah. Some people want to take the lightning path. Some people like to lick for an hour. Who knows? It just what works best for you. That's the like I always say in our school. That's the best way. There's no real right or wrong way. We all are on different levels and have different experiences. So it just depends what really works for you. That would be the best way to do it.
Very good. So another funny thought I had was about, like the various gods and like, so I'm doing some mantras to Lakshmi and then I forget about this one. And I was like, I know this is a human thought because gods probably aren't jealous, but I wonder if that god's jealous because I paid too much attention to Lakshmi and I didn't give Ganesha his mantra. It's like these are just weird thoughts that I have, but I know like in some of the legends there was jealousy among the gods and things like that, but that wouldn't be a very godlike attribute, I would suppose.
yeah, I've heard like supposed yogis like have these opinions as well. But it's I think it's complete human projection, like you're saying. You know, like gods are too divine to like if you
Mm.
feel, even for a brief moment, that connection of God, you know that it would be impossible for them to have any, like, lower emotion like this, like jealousy or something like that. So, yeah, that was my realization too, 'cause I heard some YouTuber, some yogi YouTuber say like, "Yeah, if you don't, like, pray to Durga every day, then she's gonna leave you, and she's not gonna
Mhm.
come back." And I was like, "Come on, you can't compare Durga to my ex-girlfriend or something, this is ridiculous."
Yeah, yeah,
You know, this is not the same energy, you know, this is, like, super
yeah, pretty
divine
much.
and, you know, you can't even put into words that energy, and it's not gonna form itself into this, jealousy or something, some low emotion, human emotion, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you know, animals don't even have this lower emotion a lot of times, like jealousy or something like that, you know, they're just trying to survive. So this is a very, very, very low energy of I don't have, I want what you have, and I don't see it in myself, but a God is fully realized, you know, no matter what God it is, so it's impossible for them to have any sort of jealousy, I think. And we do have the stories, but I think the stories are symbolic for, like, a deeper thing. You know, we have
Mhm.
the stories about, it's the family of Parvati and Shiva, but I think these are symbolic stories that have deeper meanings than just the surface, you know? So yeah, I yeah, and what I experience is that when you connect with one God, that makes you connect with another God even better. So
Mm,
it's the exact
sure.
opposite of what the lower mind wants you to think, because, you know, like, one deity for me led to another. Like, even recently, I had been connecting with, Saraswati and feeling and realizing the true energy of that, the mental energy of that, because I feel I needed that inner wisdom and inner guidance, you know, my third eye. And so I started to connect with Saraswati, and then when I was connecting with Saraswati, she was getting me to tell Veda Gurudev to give me the Hanuman mantra.
Hmm,
And then I got the Hanuman mantra and realized the bejas were the same from Saraswati and Hanuman. And I'm like, "Whoa," I was, like, blown
mm,
away. And then I got Hanuman, and for some reason, I couldn't say the Hanuman part when I would just not think about it. I would skip the Hanuman part, and then I would go to the Sri Ram part because he is a devotee of Sri Ram, right? And so, eventually, I got the message that, "Don't focus too much on me, focus on Sri Ram." Right. So then, I asked Veda Gurudev, "Okay, can you give me the Sri Ram, Shakti mantra?" So I got that one. And then recently I went to, the Hindu temple. I haven't been there for a while. And, you know, the last time I was there, I connected with basically, I had, Shiva is there that I connect with, Ganesha, Durga, uh, and that's about it, I think. So, but when I went there this last time, I'm like, "Whoa," I'm, like, blown away. All these statues that represent the gods, I'm connect with, like, every one of them now. So I, like, just went down the line.
mm,
I was like, Shiva, Ganesha, Lakshmi, Narayana, and then
mm,
they even had Hanuman, and next to Hanuman, they had
mm,
Sri Ram. And I didn't even
mm,
realize that before because I wasn't focused on those gods, I was just kind of figuring it out, you know? Like, what even is a deity connection? I didn't know when I first went to the Hindu temple, you know? But I just felt that powerful energy, but I was just going down the line, "Okay, we got Hanuman, we got Sri Ram, and now they have a big picture of Saraswati, okay? And now
mm,
there's Durga again." And, you know, I just, like, really took it all in, and, yeah, it was cool. Then after I meditated there, the Brahmin priest was like he recognized me, he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he had this big
mm.
smile, and so I think he realizes I'm not like a normal backpacker now. So, yeah. So, but yeah, he was really nice. He gave me the Ganesha mantra before. He didn't know I already knew it, but yeah, it's really cool, when you for me anyways, when I can connect with all these different aspects of God and they all build upon each other and help me to connect to, like, the one, you know, the oneness of all basically, better, you know, because it's hard for humans to relate to that divine energy. But for me, when you have different sources of that divine energy to relate to, that helps to connect more to God, more to appreciate it, I think it's just like when you elevate yourself spiritually, you start to see God in people and trees and everything. I think it's something like that. You start to take it all in and see through the illusion of Maya. That there is separateness, and you just need to
Yeah.
blow past that, because there really isn't separateness. And when you start to feel that, then it starts to the true reality starts to yeah, it starts to be programmed into your consciousness. So
Cool.
Yeah, I agree. It reminds me of a story in Bangkok, across from Central World. They have a big Lakshmi statue, and I went there to pray to Lakshmi, and I was doing 108 Raksha beads, one mala of Lakshmi's mantra. And all the Thai people go there to give offerings for wealth and prosperity and abundance to Lakshmi. And I was walking around Lakshmi, the statue, like right circles. And then I became Peter, the Pied Piper, where everybody started following me, and all the Thai people were like, "This guy has good energy. He knows what he's doing. This is not a regular backpacker." And the security guard who watches the Lakshmi statue came up to me, and he was like, "Where'd you get this energy? I've been the security guard for here over 10 years, and I've never seen somebody have such a profound love and for Lakshmi, and like the people really attracted to your energy." Because I was walking and they were all walking behind me trying listening to my mantra. So I collected like 10, 15 Thai people, and we were all walking around the Lakshmi statue together. And this security guard was like blown away. He was like, "Where did this guy come from? This foreigner guy?" I've seen monks, I've seen all kinds of people come here who have love for Lakshmi, but this guy, he's on a different level. And I really wasn't trying to be like a Lakshmi superstar. I was just going through the motions, and I guess I started collecting people along the way. So, yeah, when you have a true, pure love for a deity, it kind of shines in you, and you kind of become like a radio antenna transmitting the pure bhakti devotional signal around. So,
And if you have that with Lakshmi, that resonance of that energy is on the same frequency as another god or goddess.
true.
So that's why it's like it's the opposite of what the human projection would say of, oh, this god is jealous. And in fact, you're resonating at this divine level, so you're going to be resonating at a frequency that the other gods are sharing. So like
True.
me too, I worship, went all around. It just builds upon it. And I think it just reinforces your connection with God, at least for me, when you have different expressions of it. When, in the past, maybe you didn't have as much freedom, so and not as much inspiration, because I think it's really hard to get out of the Maya illusion, and our mind can take over when it's just like, oh, you believe in this one God, and whatever. It's just this fake fairy tale you want to believe, or something like that. It's easy to do that, but when you start connecting with everything as God, then that goes away, because it's not a mind thing, it's a feeling thing, and that overpowers the
Mm.
mind, the lower mind. And so it's not something you can maybe even explain that well, but when you get to that state, you know it. So like, yeah, it's easy for the mind to criticize, because the mind cannot, it's not resonating at the high frequency, so it can't relate to that sort of feeling. So when people criticize or look down on people, maybe they achieve that God awareness in different ways. They were born again through Christ, or through the Christian path, or whatever, and the mind wants to say, "Oh, it's just in your head. You've gone a little crazy, and you're whatever. You're what do they say? Like for hippies, it's like a tree hugger. Now you're a Bible hugger, or whatever." So, but it's like it's because they're not resonating at that high frequency. They can't relate to it. They can't understand it, and because there's no way for the lower mind to understand that. So people who get too intellectual about things, they ultimately are losing themselves in that form of Maya. And so you really have to open up you like look beyond like a text at some point and just like do the work and try to reach out to God, and then when you feel it, there's no going back, you know. You know that you've experienced that, so you know it's true. So
Well
Yeah,
said.
absolutely. And in that same area, there's Shiva, there's Narayana, there's Brahma, there's Ganesha. So like Brian said, when you have good energy, they all share the energy and uplift it. So I can't really see them any god being jealous or any of those lower emotions because they've already overcame that. They're way past that. They, so yeah, they would all enjoy uplifting any god and the energy of bhakti and devotion and bhava and everything. So yeah, it
and
just
I think
amplifies it.
and I think that these stories are there to teach us a lesson. They're not literal. Like you know, there's a story of like Brahma basically creating Saraswati in his
Mm,
imagination and then falling in love with it too much. And I think that's just a lesson for us not to fall in love with our form, you know,
yeah,
because ultimately we are formless, and that is the lesson. It doesn't mean that, oh, Brahma is a lesser god, or you know, they have stories about, you know, Brahma, it doesn't have temples in India, right? Because of whatever, he was cursed or whatever. But I think
mm,
we shouldn't look too far into this. These are very high energies, whether it's Brahma or whether it's Vishnu or whatever god or goddess. These are very, very high energies. So these stories are just to relate to us at a human level. And
yeah,
especially in the past, that human level, I feel like the consciousness was not as evolved. That's why they had to be very disciplined and very strict because the mind was more rugged. It was more, I don't know, it was less evolved, I think. And now we have many sources of information, and we can choose to evolve or devolve more efficiently. But in the past, they didn't have that, so you know their minds are probably maybe not able to handle this. I don't know. In some ways, maybe it was better to have less information. In some ways, no, the opposite. But yeah, I feel like these are just stories to relate to us on a human level, not to like personify the god. That's not really that's not the point of it, I think.
yeah. Well put, Brian. Yeah, I agree. Like most of these stories, they like Brian said, they're made for us to relate on a physical level. So it's more easier to relate to understand the deeper meaning behind the story. Because if they just say God is this pure energy, it's kind of goes over our head.
Yeah.
So they kind
What?
of gotta lower it and get dumb it down to a physical human kind of form, of human kind of understanding, so we could kind of get the deeper message in the story.
Mm.
I do think some of these fables or mythology. I do think way back when that there were things like that here on Earth. There was some type of different beings and things like that. So um, it can't just all be like made up. Like some of it has to come from somewhere. I mean, some of them are, I'm sure, but then again, some of them, might actually depict true events and things like that. Like in the Vedas about like the nuclear war type deal. Where, they're throwing down these metal arrows and just weird stuff like that. So um, yeah, I mean, in an infinite universe, any type of being is possible and probably exists. If we've thought it up, it probably could exist somewhere.
I think that's the nature of illusion, though. You know, the nature of illusion is that forms will be taken and whatever you can imagine, whatever you can uh, conceive of. but all the forms are illusionary if you look at them in a as a separate form. So, but so that's why I think that's why we're here. You know, we can see the separate forms more clearly in this experience. If we were floating into different astral realities where everything is projected immediately that we perceive, that we conceive, that we imagine, then it's really hard to get out of that Maya because it's like hypnotism. You know, it's you're being hypnotized by your own BS, basically, which which happens to a lot of us here on this level as well.
Yeah.
But you can imagine, like, you know, because on Earth as 3D realities, everything's slowed down, so what you project doesn't happen instantly. But if you imagine a delusional person in this world, okay, but now imagine them in the astral world where all their desires, all their wishes transform before their eyes. You know, they're gonna believe, they're gonna like they're gonna be loving it. They're gonna believe that until it's like the Twilight Zone episode that we talked about before, where they start getting everything and they realize that's not really what I want. I don't want to keep winning the jackpot at the you know, I don't want to keep getting all these girls that I wish to have. I don't want to keep doing this. What's going on? And they start to have to
Yeah.
search for like a deeper meaning, you know. So it's like the astral reality of Maya illusion and desires, basically, like the lower desires are hypnotizing us into not seeing the whole reality, you know. So I feel like any formation, whether you're in a mermaid land of mermaids and mermans and flying dragons and all this stuff, some of it is probably real on Earth. Some of it is maybe other astral worlds, astral conceptions, astral, um, you know, subtle worlds or whatever. But yeah, I think if you can imagine it, it's real, you know, because you're imagining it here and we don't see it before your eyes. But if you took LSD and you imagined it, you would see it, you know? So it would be there
Yeah.
probably right before you, you know? So that's like an indicator that, you know, when you take these drugs, you're projecting yourself in that sort of astral reality. So it's a reality, you know? So an
Yeah.
illusionary one, but it's part of the all, you know? It's part of the lessons that we go through and all that. So
It's a strange world in which we live.
yeah,
That's
no
for
doubt.
sure.
I mean, just I'm just thinking about like just we come in here, we're like we've had our memory wiped, and then we have to figure everything out. You know, from a little kid, we're just like looking. We're being programmed by all the crap we see, and man, it's a tough one.
But it's like
Yeah.
a second chance though. I mean, how many
Yeah.
chances, right? Well, how many lives have we had? But I feel like we need that clean slate. Otherwise, we're going to be taking more intimately karma that we are already attached to into the next life, you know? It's like I believe I'm this, and now I'm taking this with me to this life, and then you're just going to keep getting more baggage because when you have this line and all this memory and all this connection, you're basically connecting to all the different forms. So that's why I believe we're not supposed to, you know, look too deeply into our past life, other than just to inspire us and to rise beyond forms. But like, if we keep that memory, it's like, oh wow, I've had 100, I have had 1,000 lives. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, and you're looking at a million separate forms of yourself, which is only building your ego. But
True.
if you just cut it all off, you go back to zero. That's where God is. So how do we improve if we keep getting more ego forms? We have more lives, we have more ego forms. How do we improve? We got to go back to zero. So I feel like every
Yeah.
life is an opportunity to go back to zero and to get to where we want to go. But if we don't have that, we're just adding things. We're just adding illusions, basically, and that doesn't really help us. So I believe they have that's why they have the mind wipe. It's not because there's this evil demiurge that wants to control us and all of this. That is the mind. I mean, in a mind conception, that's true, but you have to look beyond that. That's like your own mind that's in work, your own ego mind that thinks like everything is out to get you, that thinks that you're separate from everything. That's the mind working. It's not reality, you know, true reality. So,
Yeah, I agree with Brian. If you didn't get the memory wipe or whatever, it'd be too overwhelming, and you wouldn't be able to evolve spiritually like you're meant to do. So, it in my case, I was kind of like, why did I get that memory wipe? It would have been a lot easier if I knew my potential from the beginning, but it was necessary for me to take all the bumps in the road, if you know what I'm saying, to get to this point. And when I had my darshan and when I got on the path of Kriya Yoga, it was almost like Babaji, like, what took you so long? You're having too much fun being a DJ and living your life. So I, but I understand now, like I kind of wanted the lightning path, but it was necessary for me to go through the trials and tribulation to get to this point. And I treat it more as treasure now than if it was just given it to me. I probably wouldn't take as much care of my sadness as I do now, because now I really feel like Babaji gave me a gift of gold, or even better gold, like changed my life. My life took a total 180 from before. So I really appreciate the memory wipe, the journey, the adventure, trying to find my way back onto the path now. It took me a long time, a lot longer than I wish, but here I am now, and now I'm going as far as I can.
You know,
They
they
could.
should change the name of that. They should change it from memory wipe to illusion wipe.
Yeah, well, illusion, Maya wipe. Yeah, that's a better way to put it, Brian. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because it really wasn't memories. In yoga, they say the future is imagination, the memory is just the past is this memory. I live in the present moment, so yeah, it really doesn't matter. You just try to be the best you can in the present moment. But yeah, you're right. It is kind of a Maya wipe, because that really doesn't define who you are at all. It was just some so-called experience you went through.
Yeah, the true reality that God forces you in is when you're a baby, when you're at zero. That's like babies are the most
True.
innocent being. And
Sorry.
that's all right. So
Well, I was going to say the TV started up by itself. I didn't push any buttons. All of a sudden, it just starts playing again. On
maybe that was the
YouTube.
demiurge trying to cut me off or something. So, anyways, now where was I? But yeah, so I think that's the ultimate thing is that you don't like if you are carrying more of your past life with you, you're carrying more illusion. And God wants you to get rid of all of that illusion. God doesn't want you to be attached to anything. And when you just clear your mind in meditation, when you have nothing, that's where you have everything. And so when you realize, when you think your memory wipe, that's because you're attached to your memories and you're attached to a potential other experience that you may have had that you think is better than this one. But at that lower projection, you're already projecting so much illusion, you don't know where to start. So basically, God's saying, no, let's just wipe all of this illusion and we'll start back from zero because that's the only way we can do it. How else, because if you keep trying to gain things, you're going to go deeper into this false path. So, and I was on the completely other side of this before. Um, but that's what doing the practice does. It opens you up to greater realities. And you can't use the mind to figure this out because the mind inherently is so limited already. It's not going to be able to understand it. But you can logically think with the mind about the soul trap, and this makes sense. We're being deceived. We have to keep coming back here. And now you're going to wipe my memory, and I'm not going to know where I even came from. How am I going to find my way? This is coming from a lower mind that thinks that the 3D reality is true reality. And so it's trying to coordinate and trying to get a vantage point, a reference point to where to go based on that lower 3D consciousness. But if you can imagine about the higher consciousness, there is no place to go. There is nothing to do. It's only a state of complete peace. and there is no a separate external manifestation from that. If that is the true reality, then the mind wipe is exactly what you want, because
Yeah.
you're getting rid of all the false stuff. So I think maybe the discussion about this can evolve a little bit, because there really like online and stuff, there's really not like a very good inspired um profound sort of insights like we talk about on this satsang. It's all ego. It's like, I mean, most of the time it's like it's a soul trap, or it's a lovely school, or it's, and then now we need to fight between these two things. And it's just a lower consciousness that people are operating at, and they're not actually doing the work. Because for me, it was really complicated to figure this all out before. I was like, yeah, I don't know, like, what's going on, but I wasn't doing the work. I wasn't doing it properly. And then when I just did the inner work and did the yoga, did the Kriya yoga and meditation, then the answers just came to me naturally. And it's a profound knowingness that comes from God, and you have just a complete discernment about it. So I don't like sit there and like wonder at night, oh, what about the demiurge? Like, what how can I answer the demiurge question after I die? Or like, how many lives did I have before? Or like, I don't even float into that anymore, because I already know like the ultimate reality generally is when you just are at peace and in nothingness and meditation. And if that can be like
Yeah.
the imprint of your life, then that's where you want to be. And you get rid of all this mind stuff.
Well, if I have to have the mind wipe, I want at least 1,000-year lifespan. I can make that deal. That way, I'll have time to, like, once I've figured it out, I won't just die. Like, okay, I've got it all figured out. Now I can't do anything with that.
Or you'll have more time to brainwash yourself about reality because you're gonna be
Yeah,
stuck.
you could go the
You're
opposite
gonna be stuck
way.
too long. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, like my guru always said, like I always like, he was always like, Ved Guru Dev, go to zero, go to zero, go to zero. Throw away all this junk you've collected all these years you've been on in this life and this incarnation. Just throw it away. It doesn't serve you anymore. It doesn't define who you are. Just go back to zero, being a pure soul. And that's where we want to be. Go back to when you were a baby and a child and you didn't care who was president, or you didn't care what Kim Kardashian wore to the Grammys. You just were happy, enjoying the sun, and playing and living a good life as a pure soul. So he will always say, go back to zero. Sometimes I'd ask a question like, Baba, what do you think of this? Or why does Shiva have so many arms? Or why is that snake around Shiva's neck? You go back to zero. It don't matter. None of it matters. It only matters you being a pure soul. These are cool stories around the campfire, but most important thing is going back to zero, you know?
So one thing about mantra that I like from the voice of Babaji,
Hmm.
they said, even if you do the mantra like and you don't have Baba in it that much, just as a start, they say even if you're just speaking those words, you're going to get somewhat. It's going to have an effect. And he described it as like it's no different from like the one who goes into the water to bathe himself versus one who gets pushed in the water. They both get cleaned by the water. So I kind of liked
Hmm.
what they said about that. I
Sure.
thought that was interesting. But yeah, it's a great book, and there's a lot of profound stuff back in the question and answer, and just things that like got me thinking about various stuff. So, um, but yeah, I mean, it really does require a lot of dedication, willpower, devotion, all these qualities, patience. These qualities must be worked on.
I think when you just let go, which is easier said than done, You feel
Mm.
you feel the bliss, you feel the ecstasy, you feel the profound feeling of being connected with God, and if you just keep following that, it becomes easier. Because the ego doesn't want you to imagine that there's anything that wonderful. It wants you to sulk around in sorrow and all these lower emotions of jealousy and all the stuff that we just talked about before. It wants to project all these different emotions. But when you feel the grace of God, you feel the showered energy of a bliss from God, and you just follow that, it really dissolves the ego because you have nowhere to go. So it starts to become easier once you let go. And I was thinking, I sort of had this like inspiration from when I was connecting with Saraswati, and I feel it was her message to me, you know, about um, about healing myself and everything. And she's basically the message that I kind of translated is that as ego, you can't do anything, so let it go. You need
Yeah.
God to heal you, and that was her message to me.
Mm.
You're trying to project something, but you can't do it. As a separate form, you can't do it. You just let go and let God, right? Let go, let God. The monkey's coming back again, but it's so true. Let go, let God, and
Yeah.
and God will heal you. You. So when we say I healed myself, you didn't really heal yourself because you are a separate illusion. You are a separation, which is an illusion of consciousness. You heal yourself. Your body is healed by having a greater realization ultimately that you are not you and you are part of the greater God connected to that. And so like yeah, that was the message I got. And then Veda Guru Dev, you told that story. I don't know if it's in the Babaji book about the guy who jumped off the mountain, right? Because he wanted to be a
Oh,
follower of Babaji.
yeah, that's an autobiography of a yogi.
Oh, autobiography of Yogi. Yeah, I guess I would have read
Yeah.
that because I read that. Yeah, but anyways, that got me thinking about like I don't know if that story is true or if it's a symbolism, but it's equally powerful whether it's true or that's an actual story that occurred or if it's symbolism. Because that's my realization about connecting with Saraswati and having that wisdom connection is that that's basically what we're doing is we're jumping off the cliff.
Right.
Maybe not literally, but we're jumping off the cliff from all our ego illusions and just saying, God, catch me.
Mm.
That's it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely. Well put. Yeah, that story I really resonate with too, because first of all, they say it's American guy, and I'm American guy, so I feel like they're talking about me. And I just surrender to Baba G, and he just catches me, like Brian says. So like, I'm not scared to go to the Himalayan mountains or sleep in a cave or jump off the cliff, because I always know that Baba G's gonna catch me. And I kind of felt when I went to the Himalayan mountains, when I was at the base of the Himalayan mountains, looking up at those big mountains, like, oh boy, how am I gonna get up there? I don't know what I got myself into. Babaji kind of carried me like a baby up the mountain. So like he's always there to catch me. So I don't really have any fear of jumping off the mountain cuz I look forward to jumping off the mountain anytime Babaji asks me to jump off the mountain. So I really like that story too cuz I I always think he's talking about me cuz anytime Babaji tells me to jump off the mountain, I go jump off the mountain. And he revives me and I go do it again, you know? So like with anything, the Himalayan mountains, the Kriya yoga school, all that, jumping off the mountain, I'm like, maybe that's a tribute he likes about me. I'm just kind of fearless, like, all right, let's go, let's do it. How we're gonna do it, I don't know, but I guess we'll figure it out along the way. I was telling Brian yesterday, I went back and watched class one, and I was like, I had no clue what I was doing in the first class. I was just trying to feel my way in the dark, but look how far we come in 48 classes. So I was like, but I watched the first class, then I watched the second class. In the second class, I got a better web camera. I bought a better light, so I kind of committed to it. So like, what I was constantly evolving. I was constantly upgrading each class and learning from my mistakes. Like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna do that better this time, and I'm gonna do that better this time. So like, yeah, I guess Baba G wants me on the front line because um I don't think I'm not too intellectual about it. I just do. I'm a Kriya yogi. I'm an action yogi. So I just do. Like, all right, we're making a Kriya yoga school today. Let's do it. How? I don't know. We'll figure it out along the way. Let's just start one foot in front of the other, and we'll figure it out along the way. How many classes it would take? I don't know. 1, 2, 5 million? Who knows? But let's just start. Instead of thinking about it, let's just start doing action. And that's what I like about Kriya Yoga. Like, a lot of these people, like Autobiography of a Yogi and all these books are about talking about Kriya Yoga. In our school, we do Kriya Yoga. We don't talk about it. We do it. Like, okay, these are the Kriyas. We enough talk about them. Let's get to work and let's start doing them and let's start putting them in action. So that's why I like Kriya Yoga. It's like action yoga. It's not story yoga. Story yoga.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what you get when you connect with God. It's never some long drawn out explanation of what you need to do. It's just like,
True.
do this or
Right.
think this. Oh yeah. It's very, very, very simple because the gods are coming from this place beyond, much far beyond these 3D illusions. That's why it's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
precise, it's so definite, it's so concrete, it's so profound, it's so simple, all these things at once, and it makes it like hit you so much stronger, than all the elusive sort of motivations, So yeah, I feel like yeah. So when you spend too much time talking about it, you're kind of creating a false ego projection over the practice, you know? And it's like you're defining it too much in 3D ego standards. And when you do that, that's a trap, because if that's what you think is reality, because you talked about it so much, and maybe you have a channel, maybe you talk to people, and now I identify as this elevated being, and I know so much, I'm so intellectual about this, and now you're totally deluding yourself of the true point of
Yeah.
actually doing this. It's none of those things, it's the opposite of going to a higher level. It's going to zero. It's the opposite of gaining something. It's realizing the nothingness inside of you is what you're trying to do. So you don't want to add things, you want to get rid of them.
Yeah. Like Brian said, most of my darshans with deities have been directly straight to the point. Do this, like not too many words. This, you know,
Mm.
not too many questions. There isn't no question and answer segment. It's like do this, Well, I don't want to do that. Do it that way,
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't like sleeping in caves. I hate cold weather, When I moved to Miami, I thought my cold weather days were over forever. Do it. You sure? Do it. Like, all right, okay, well, all right. We'll see what happens. And in the beginning, most of my darshans, I was like, nah, there's no way that's going to happen. It just ain't going to happen. I'll do it just to prove it ain't going to happen. Boy, was I wrong. It definitely is going to happen. And, it was due to my kind of laziness, too. Like, oh, man, that's going to take a lot of work. I'm going to have to buy all this camping gear and hiking poles and boots and all this stuff. Man, can I just go to sleep? But yeah, so God's not much for words, let's put it to you that way. It's straight to the point, like a laser, like a Bindu point, like phew, This is what you do. And as less words as possible. No fluff. There's no filler words. It's just straight. Do this. don't ask why. You'll figure it out later. Just get to work. Yes, sir.
Mm.
Yes, sir, boss. Right away.
Um, yeah, when I saw you talking about going back to the first class, that got me to go back to the first class. Is that the one with the chair yoga, or
Yeah, probably.
I think it
I'm,
was
I'm, uh,
you were sitting on a chair?
yeah. The first class in the classroom or the first class ever? I think
Oh,
the first class ever, I'm sitting on the floor and I have
okay.
like a microphone stand next to me. The
Ah,
first class we did in the classroom, like the
yeah.
beginner class, I think
Yeah.
was chair yoga. And I
Okay.
might have demonstrated that, or somebody might have asked in the first
Well,
class
where do I
about that
find
too.
that one? I want to see the one that you were talking about where you were just sitting there.
Oh,
The
it's
first
it's
one?
on the class.
Okay. Yeah, because somehow I went
Yes.
like I went to the class and I saw one and I think that was the chair one, so I must need to look down somewhere else, I guess.
Yeah, so in 2025, like all of our classes were in class 48. I separated. So now there's 2024 all classes, and it would be the first one. So Chad had classes 1 through 8 on his Open Your Reality, but he deleted his Open Your Reality. So I had to re-upload those 2 days ago because I
Oh,
saved them.
Did
That
Chad give it
and
back to you, or you had a copy of it somewhere also?
he was going to give it back to me, but he didn't. So I had to go look in. I have like a hard drive where I kind of back up all the classes,
Yeah.
and I just re-uploaded it. I
Oh,
think it
cool.
was yesterday I re-uploaded it. Yeah. So they're up now. They were down for like about a week when Chad deleted his channel, but now they're back up. So if you go in the classroom and down towards the bottom it says all 2024 Kriya Yoga School classes. You go down. I think there's how many classes were there? I think there's 42 classes. So it would start with 42, but you go down all the way to the bottom and you'll see one.
Okay.
So the first class, I was telling Brian yesterday in the Yagna, I didn't have a light. I didn't have a good camera. I was just using the webcam on my MacBook, and yeah, we really upgraded. The picture was grainy. It was dark. I had no clue what was going on. So, but I made a conscious effort. Like, all right, if we're doing this Kriya Yoga school and people are going to be here to learn Kriya Yoga, I need to go get the proper equipment. So the next class, I had the light and I had a better webcam like I have now. So, but yeah, it's good to go back and see. Like, I was just feeling a way around my way in the dark. Like even teaching the classes, I was like, I have no clue. It's kind of like all jumbled up, like all over the place. So, but yeah, so it's good to see how far we came in the last almost year at the Kriya Yoga School.
Yeah, so I
But
went back.
ironically,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, ironically, that made me connect to you more because I knew you were real. Because it wasn't all like it wasn't all as so and everything's
Yeah,
perfect and you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But with you, everything was open. Like I'm gonna make the sign about the Mula Mantra for
yeah,
Babaji, and I never saw someone do that before. So I'm like that. All right, well that's thinking outside the box. All right, cool. And no one does that really, so that now I can kind of tell you're real, and then when you don't really know what's going on with the camera and stuff, that was actually a good indicator for me, because for me the only thing that I was looking at is, are you real, are you legitimate, you have the bhava, you have this connection with God. That's the only thing. And so I think
yeah,
like we kind of like put more importance into technology and stuff like that, but it really is the core message. And someone, if they truly want to connect to this, they're not going to connect with it because you have good lighting or that the
yeah,
camera quality is good. They're just going to connect to like, okay, this person, he connects with God, and that's what I want. I know it's legitimate. I can feel that connection as well. And so I think ultimately people can look past that. And so the main important thing is that we have the message and the energy, going forward. So But
Yeah, there
yeah, it
was
helps to look
not
good sometimes. But
it was not high production value in the first class. But yeah, like you
yeah,
said, that was kind of like, listen, I'm just trying to figure this out on the fly. I'm just trying to do the best I can. I have no clue, but let's see what happens, you know? But yeah, it's not about the quality of the camera, the quality of the lighting. It's more about the teaching. So hopefully the teachings were good in the first class, which I think they were good.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
so I went well, while I was looking for that one, I went back to some of the mantra ones and some of the pranayama. So I liked the
Yeah.
and I did the along with you, I went and did it. I'm like the humming
Deep
bee
breath.
Oh,
breath. Yes.
yeah. Brahmari pranayama, humming bee breath. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what that also got me to thinking about the patience. A lot, you know, this stuff develops and requires patience because just doing that 12 times and you have to breathe fully, you know, like not just a little shallow breath. You're breathing
Yeah.
fully in and then fully exhaling every bit of air out, you know, and making that sound 12 times. I mean, I was like, wow. I mean, I'm feeling something from this, you know. It's like
Yeah.
afterwards, you know, you can't help but like have feel like you got a lot of, you know, new energy or what. But it's just like these little things that you have to do everything, you know. It's like you just can't. I don't know. I mean, I just think the breath work's very important, but I just think you know, I could be more dedicated sometimes. And I need to, you know, make use of these tools. I have all these tools at my disposal. I can go back and do it along with you. Um, and that's very helpful. So I need to start utilizing that better.
Yeah, the classes we have in the classroom are very powerful, and now they're kind of organized because they were getting kind of jumbled up in the beginner, intermediate, and advanced classes. Now we kind of have them like all pranayama classes, all meditation dhyana classes, all asana classes, all mantra classes. What else we have? Mudra classes. Yeah, so it's good to go through those and go back and look at them. But yeah, there's a lot of profound classes in there. I wish the Kriya Yoga School was around when I started on my path. It would have made it a lot more helpful. Namaste, Veronica.
Namaste.
Namaste.
You're a little bit late, Veronica.
I
What's
know,
going
I'm usually
on?
on time.
The first
Coming from
20
me.
minutes, no one was here, and I was like, oh boy, I think this is
Oh.
gonna be the first class. No one's gonna come, you know. But yeah, everybody eventually showed up. So
Oh, good. Yeah. How's everybody doing?
yeah,
Good.
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 It's fun to see you not in your normal surroundings. Where are
Yeah.
you at right now?
I'm in my friend's car at Travel Lodge in the parking lot.
Mm,
It's the only quiet place I could find. So
great.
We know you're
yeah.
real, not just an avatar now.
Yeah.
You're out in the world and traveling, so it is real. Yeah.
Man, it's beautiful here. I don't know, and I was thinking like beautiful surroundings just like make people so much happier. I don't know, you can't be in a bad mood when it's just beautiful. I don't know, the ocean's beautiful and the trees because of the wind, it like makes the trees look like it's got a bend in them. They look like the trees are dancing and I don't know, everything is green and flowers everywhere and everybody was taking pictures. But I was thinking how important beauty is in the world and how it just uplifts everybody when you're just around beauty and nature. And I don't know how we should just all try to like make everything we do beautiful. It just I don't know, it just nobody was in a bad mood today. And I was just like everybody was excited to be there. So I was just thinking of how important beauty is.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Nothing like a
It was like,
beautiful pink sunset or something like that, you know?
yeah, we're gonna try to catch the sunset. Well, we can catch the sunrises and the sunsets, right? Where we're at the ocean. So that's like a thing to like get video of that and do pictures, and everybody was doing selfies. So I don't know. I'll have some pictures. I don't know. My phone died when I got there, so my friend was taking pictures, but I'm sure I'll have lots of pictures to share. But it's a no to like do selfies with celebrities. You'll get it escorted out. But if I walk by and do like a quick picture, I guess they said if you don't get caught. So I
Did you
just
see it?
spent
Who did you see?
nobody yet.
Oh.
But I guess somebody, Justin Timberlake was there last year, and somebody ran up to him and wanted to take selfies with him, and he got escorted out. So that's a no.
My ego is saying he's the last person I want to have a picture with.
I know.
I want to run far
Bottom
away
of
from
the
these
barrel.
celebrities. I don't want to go to them.
Yeah.
I want to run far away from them.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I have no desire to do that. But
hey, more ego. Can you give me more ego? I want more ego.
I did see that he, like, one of his last videos was some satanic thing, you know. That crossed my my radar somewhere along my in all my, you know, browsings of thing, you know, esoteric things. But yeah, you know how they just do a lot of satanic stuff in Hollywood and stuff. But I didn't know he was one of them until they, you know, showed me that. But, you know, not that it really matters, but
yeah. Yeah, I don't even want to know. It's like, ugh.
Yeah. Actually, I saw they had like the like RFK Jr. was like trying to be confirmed to some position in the government, and I just flipped by like on YouTube. I saw it was live. I was like, okay, maybe we'll check this out. I like RFK.
Yeah.
And the consciousness of the people questioning him is so low that like I could not handle it for more than a couple minutes. I was like, oh my God, like these people are selling all of their soul to this. Like the consciousness is like, I want to get this from you, and then I can have this to use against you later. That's all it was just bam, bam, bam. Like that is the lowest form of consciousness, you know? Like basically that guy who's asked the questions, he's in hell right now. Literally. He's in hell. So I had to flip off of that. I can't handle that. So it's too much illusion. It's too much hell is basically not seeing reality, the true reality of God. So hopefully those people can awaken at some point out of that hellish state. So
and it's just not worth it. Like what I tell Chad one time, the juice is not worth the squeeze. Like if you hurt some children, I'll give you some fairy dust money. Like, nah, I ain't never doing that. Your money's no good over here. I don't care about your money. I'm not selling my pure soul to you for some fairy dust money, some paper, you know? Nah, I ain't doing none of that, you know? That was probably why they didn't invite me to the back rooms of their parties, because I didn't want to do any of that. Like, I don't want no part of any of this junk, you know? I'm here to make good music and uplift and be happy. I'm not here to sell my soul or hurt people or throw my friends under the bus so I can get some more money and buy a car or buy a boat. I don't care about none of that. I'd rather not have a boat and have my pure soul be untouched. So you can keep all that. I want no part of any of your parties or any of your delusion. You know, like if you worship the devil, I'll give you a record deal. No thanks. Keep your record deal. Don't want it. Or whatever, you know, if you hurt these people or you do this, no, not interested, not for
Yeah.
sale over here,
Yeah, I'm not that desperate. Yeah, and you probably, if you do that kind of thing, then they can blackmail you and get more stuff, get you to do more stuff. This is, yeah, when will it
Yeah,
end?
it's a never ending cycle. And
Yeah,
if it's not pure, I don't want it. So like, if it's not good energy, I don't want to be around it. So like, it's almost like the trash taking itself out. Like, I don't want to be here anyway. So do me a favor and don't let me be here.
yeah,
Like, you can't be here. Good. I didn't want to be here anyway. I want to hang out with uplifting people and have good energy. I don't want to be around negativity and backstabbers and scammers and cheaters. That's like trash, that's like, sometimes I'll go into a place in Thailand and it would just have bad energy and I'll just turn around and walk out like,
yeah,
this place doesn't feel right, I don't want to be here. I don't care what they got here. I don't want no part of it, so that's the way I look at the music industry too. Like, I don't want no part of this. Like, they're always trying to sell you a dream and you should do this, and I'm like, I don't want to do any of that,
yeah. Well, that's good that you didn't fall for that when you were young. I don't know, a lot of people would have. So I think that just shows how strong your soul is, that you, being in the music industry, you didn't fall for it. Or haven't, yeah. Like, we'll give you this and that. I think that's a good thing. So
If you keep that awareness of when you're a child, you have discernment of what's right and wrong. At least I did. And
yeah,
so I didn't want to go like, there's a lot of times like maybe someone grows up in a family and they don't treat the person well, then that person who grows up, they don't treat their child well. It's because they don't have awareness. But if you have awareness, you blow past all of that. And if you learn from a young age, there's a way with your free will to choose the right thing, and then you do it. And I've had that discernment, from when I was younger, so I could never go too far off. Like I went pretty far off, but I was like with veganism and stuff, but that was all for good intentions, even though I was doing the wrong thing, it was for the right reason. And so yeah, so I think if you're just doing things for the right intentions, eventually God will direct you to where you need to go, as long as you're authentic. But just for me, like people doing drugs or something like that, like it had zero appeal to me because I knew
Yeah.
what that would lead to. And so I just never had any desire whatsoever. I mean, the only desire I had is to understand the greater levels of reality in God. And so that's why, guilty as charged. I did do magic mushrooms and stuff like that. But that was for the purpose of discovering God and connecting to something beyond this.
yeah,
So at least it was not like a sort of party lifestyle sort of egotistical sort of thing. I was just trying to figure it out. And so I think the main thing is just being honest with yourself and having that discernment. Like, I don't have all the answers. I don't really know what's going on, but I just know, like, in general, like if I do something wrong, I know it, and I'm just trying to do my best. So I think it's really, a lot of these people are living their lie and they're eating their own bullshit. They're believing it. They're too they're too far in. So unfortunately for those people, they're probably gonna have to go in another life. Maybe their next life, they're gonna have to have some tragedy. They're gonna have to break their ego somehow. And before you got in here, we're talking about the mind wipe, which I said it should be called the illusion wipe, or Theta Guru Dev, you said the Maya wipe,
yeah,
right? Because that's how we go back to zero. Because if you remember all your past lives, it's more to attach to. It's like, oh, I was this,
Yeah.
I was a merman in the mermaid world, and it was amazing. Like I had my merman friends, my mermaid friends.
yeah. Do you know who I
Like
am?
this. Yeah, you realize you're talking. I'm kind of a big deal. I mean, I've been a
I'm a
merman, I've been a
merman.
dragon, I've been a dog, I've been all kinds of stuff. But we just like as a memory wipe, you just cut it all, because that's where God wants you to be. He wants you to be at zero, because the only reality is when you're not attached to anything and you're at zero. So that's the beauty of this quote unquote mind wipe, is that you have an opportunity to be back to zero, and you have an opportunity to come back to God and let go of everything. So
Yeah.
That's funny because on my radio show I use that drop. Do you know who I am? I'm kind of a big deal,
Yeah.
right? That's from what's that? The Anchorman, right? So
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
use
Anchorman. Yeah,
that like
yeah.
like the I use that sound bite and I edit it up like for my intro to
Oh yeah.
my mix.
Uh, but if you say it, you know it's not real, and you whatever, you understand the reality. You're not clinging to that. Then it's all good. You know,
Yeah, you're
that's where
not clinging
humor
to
comes
it's
from.
funny. All right, yes.
Yeah, yeah. That's humor is when you don't really care. It's just a joke, and this
Yeah,
reality is a joke basically, and you're just trying to elevate yourself, or you're trying to go back to zero from all of it. Yeah. And that's what makes everything funny is we're already at zero because people are taking things seriously, but you're not,
right.
and that's basically the essence of comedy, you know. But a lot of comedy is kind of ugly for me because it's a bunch of posers who pretend they don't care, but actually they're really insecure in general.
Yeah,
And so they're just trying to vent their insecurities in a way that looks like they don't care. But that's just kind of a complexity to look into. But I think true humor is when you truly do not care at all, and
yeah.
Mhm.
that's when funny things arise. So
Yeah, when you could look at yourself in the mirror and laugh at yourself. Like I look at
yeah,
these classes and I laugh at myself. Like I almost burned my knee off on the Yagna. Like the fire didn't light. I can't blow the conch, so I just kind of laugh at it. I don't take any of this personally. Like, oh, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like when you can laugh at yourself, then you really don't care. Like, all right, whatever. I don't care. It's
Yeah.
good.
Stuff happens.
That stuff
I,
happens the way
yeah,
it happens, and that's the way it is.
I
So
did.
I don't take myself too personally. I kind of laugh at myself.
yeah.
I,
That can
I,
be like when I was younger. That was like my superpower. I like realized that if I make fun of myself, I feel better. I was like,
Yeah,
whoa. So I always make fun of myself before other people could do it. And then if they made fun of me, I'm like, yeah, I know I
Yeah.
suck. Oh,
yeah, I already know.
you know. So,
Yeah. When
so
I'm the butt
Like
of
I
I
the
give
say
joke,
in
I'll
myself
the
all
just
the
laugh.
pressure. Yeah, yeah,
like I always say in the school, if I could do it, you could do it. You do it way better than me, right? Like, you know.
yeah.
I did get a good laugh when you messed up the Caversham shield. I was like, thank you for that
Oh
because
yeah.
I did it. I do enjoy laughing. It's like it was good.
It
Yeah.
it's good to show it happens even Vedguru Dev. Like sometimes I misfire on the conch, sometimes I misfire on the mantra, you know? Or sometimes maybe it's a deeper meaning, like I need to say this. I know you hate saying the guru mantra because it's like stroking your ego, but say it some more. And I was like, all right, well, that didn't come out the way, but I'll try it again. Start again. Take two. I
And
think
That's
that's
good.
Yeah.
You didn't
actually what I
bypass it
said
Good.
though.
at the Yagna.
Yeah, you didn't bypass it. You're just like, oh, I got to get that right. Let's go back.
Yeah, try it
So,
again.
yeah.
Actually, that inspired me because the last class we did, I did the Cavagem Shield, and I'm like, I forgot a line. It was Swaha. And I was like, when you did that, I'm like, I should have stopped. Like, let me do that again. But it was just like, it just went so fast. But I'm trying to like memorize it. But I knew I missed a line. But I don't know. That inspired me that you messed up and you redid it. So I think when I mess up, I'll just redo it. Like,
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. Don't take it personally. Just like Patanjali said in the Yoga Sutras, it's not a straight line. It's not a perfect line. It's a zigzag. You fall off the
yeah,
path. You dust yourself off. It doesn't go as planned. That's how you know it's live and it's authentic too, because it's not scripted. It's not perfect. Things happen. The fire doesn't light sometimes. The conch don't blow right. Sometimes I don't say the mantra. I forget a line or I don't say the right one. But it's okay.
yeah,
It's all live over here at the
yeah.
Kriya Yoga School.
No rehearsing.
No rehearsing. Straight off the top of your head. Whatever I say from my heart, that's what comes out.
Yeah, now that Chad's gone, no more questions for Liz Cross because I'm gonna have to wait
Yeah.
to find out what my galactic heritage is. I wanted to ask her if I had been any type of extraterrestrial, lives.
Maybe just find her channel. Yeah, skip Chad. Just find her channel. I don't know if you want to
Yeah,
find that
I
out.
mean, she does have one. I don't know if she does super chats over there and answers questions, but
I'm
but
sure
I
she
did get some
does.
good answers from her, I have to admit. But
I think she comes on how Chad found her. She comes on Rob's channel. I think it's called Typical
Skeptic.
Skeptic.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he interviews her like every month. So you could go when she's on his channel, go on and ask her on Super Chat
Yeah.
Great. I
because
didn't
he
know
does
about
the
that.
same thing with her. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
called
I think you.
Typical Skeptic. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rob.
I think you would like
Yeah,
his channel, Paul.
I'm gonna write that down.
yeah, yeah. So he has a similar channel like Chad, and he does like 4 live streams a day or something. So he
Yeah. He's
interviews a
like
lot of
working all
people,
day.
like a lot of the people Chad interviews. He got from him. So yeah, Liz Cross. I saw her on his channel too, and she was answering questions like in the super chat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I think he got that from. So
Nice.
Yeah, what you guys were talking about, like selling your soul, you don't want to do that. I don't know. These sat songs make me come up with. I remember memories that happened a long time ago. But when I don't know, when I was 19, a young female in the culinary world, I was working at this job, and my boss, he comes up to me, want to come go to the back room and have some fun. I'm like, no, I don't want to have any fun with you. And as a matter of fact, I don't work here anymore, and you're going to have to write me a really big check, or I'm going to cause you a lot of problems. So he did, but I've been thinking about that. I should have taken the money and caused him some problems and saved some other women from him, because obviously he thought he could do that to me. But I don't know. I'm glad I didn't like go for it, but I don't know. There's just like a lot of gross people out there, and people, I don't know. I don't know. I think you have to like decide, this is not good for me, but I don't know. These sat songs are making me remember a lot of stuff. I feel like I'm like shedding my skin, but yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
I
that's
don't,
that's excellent. That's what
yeah,
our sad songs are for. Shed all your trauma, get it all off your
yeah,
chest. Put it all out. Don't hold this rock no more. It doesn't serve you. Let it go. Throw that rock off your back. Get that monkey off your
yeah,
back. Whatever trash you're carrying around, just burn it in the fire. Throw it away.
yeah,
Whatever you need to do. It doesn't serve you no more.
yeah,
Travel light, my friend. Travel light. No
yeah,
baggage.
yeah. Swaha. Burn.
Swaha. Everything swaha, 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 swaha. Everything. Like our yagna, so swaha, burn it all up, everything, watch it go.
Yeah, these are just people deep in illusion, and
Yeah,
we need to have our boundaries and show them who's boss.
Yeah,
And if everyone does that, they're gonna go away because they're so weak. They have to prey on other people to get any
right.
energy because they don't have any cultivated energy themselves because they've turned their back on God. So when you turn your back on them, they die basically,
yeah,
or they have
Yeah,
to that form of them dies anyways because you're not propagating it. You're not perpetuating it. You're saying, "No, I don't accept that. You better change. If you don't change, you're going to have a horrible life," because which is true. They're going to keep attaching to things that are at this low level. And so when you did that, that was very powerful, not just for you, but for him too. Maybe that triggered something in him, like,
I
oh yeah,
hope so.
I gotta like change or something, and maybe it didn't, but even so, it's just maybe it took more women to do that to him to trigger it, but you were in the path of towards good and moving him towards that anyways. So I think that's why we need to stand in power with God. And people think
mm,
like peaceful people are so weak. It's the opposite. Peaceful
yeah,
people are the most powerful ones, right? Because they're completely
Mm.
together, and you know, they're not using their energy for useless causes, for useless purposes, you know, and they have this connection with God. So that's where the true power is. So if we basically tell him to look at the boss up there in the sky, and I'm going to follow him. I'm not going to follow this. That's going to help to turn people into, you know, looking deeper, I think, inside themselves and their illusions. So
Yeah. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
what
I
you said.
agree.
Peaceful. We think peaceful people are the weak ones. They're the strong ones.
Mm,
I know. I like that.
true.
Yeah, and I knew that if
Yeah,
I agreed to that, it would just be like, well, you want Saturday off? You need to do me a favor. I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm like, because it wouldn't end. So yeah,
yeah, and
but
you
you're
realize you're the king of your castle and you have the power. So once you have that realization, no one can steal your power from you. And you have your own rules that you live by. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I don't care.
yeah.
If it means having Saturday off for the rest of my life, I don't want Saturday
Like yeah,
off.
I'm
You
like
know,
my
like
soul is
you
not
keep
for sale.
Saturday over there. And that really helped me. Before I got on the path of Kriya Yoga, I was like that in DJing too. Like, I'm not doing any of that, right? You give me this, or I'm not coming.
Yeah,
And many times they would always think like, oh, he's gonna come back tomorrow, and he's gonna come with his hat in his hand and beg us for a job. Never came back, you know.
yeah,
I was like, listen, I don't work with shady people. I don't work with liars. I don't work with cheaters. If you're doing good business, we could work. If you're not, I don't want to be here. Your money's no good to me. I don't want to work with you. So I don't care what you have or what kind of ghost stories, or, you know, like, oh, I got all this money. I don't care. It has
yeah,
no meaning to me. If you want to work with me, we do good business over here. I work with people with good energy. I don't work with people with bad energy. So if you show me for 1 second you have bad energy, I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want any of your money. You know? Goodbye. You know?
goodbye.
Swaha. I burn you in the fire. And they hated that. Like, oh, you need us, and this. I was like, I don't need anything. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm satisfied with my life. So your money's no good over here. So if you think I'm motivated by money, you're wrong. I'm motivated by good energy and helping people. So
Yeah,
keep your Saturdays.
yeah.
Keep-
I can find another job. It's fine.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. This is the only job in town.
you know, like,
Even if it is, I don't even want to have a job. I'd rather
yeah,
sleep under a bridge than work with you losers over here.
yeah,
All your bad energy and your fake ghost stories. I want no part of it.
yeah.
One thing I am excited about is like the releasing of the JFK files that they say it was going to be released February 6th.
My
So
husband just died.
I'll believe it when I see it. Like,
I mean, yeah, really. But I'm just wondering, like, wow, yeah, if they're really going to do that, and if there's really some stuff there that like incriminates the government or whatever, then that's going to open a whole can of worms that could lead to a lot of other
but
disclosure.
why? I don't know. My
I don't
question
think
is, why
so,
would they
though.
want to release it? If it's going to hurt them, why would they release it? I don't know. Or maybe,
No, because Trump is probably not involved, and if he's not involved, he will release it to hurt his enemies.
yeah,
Because people, when they get to these powers, it's a bunch of infighting and it's a bunch of power games, you know.
yeah,
And plus that happened a long time ago. The people implicated are probably 90 years
dead.
old, and they're ordered or dead. Yeah. So it's not. I mean, it's going to implicate some people's families, but whatever. People already know the government's corrupt. I don't think it's
Yeah,
going to change anything at all. Most people already know that whole thing was set up. Anyone with half a brain would realize that. Things don't just randomly happen, you know. And there's so much information. There's so many books about that. I don't think it's really it's just gonna confirm it all. But I don't think it's going to change anything. People already know about that. There's been polls, and I think probably over half of the people who know about that JFK story, they don't believe the official story. So
Yeah.
I would say nothing would change, and it's just going to confirm people's beliefs that they have already. Maybe a few people, but I feel like the people who don't believe that already, they're so far in denial that they're not going to change. It's just the nature of reality, you know.
Hmm.
And the average person, they don't really follow what's going on with government and like official document releases and stuff like that. And the media, they'll bury it anyways if it implicates them in any way. So I would say nothing will change, but it's interesting development
Yeah.
about different, power games and stuff. But for me, I don't. I feel like I already know, like generally even if I don't know specifics. I've looked into all these things, and yeah, it's just a bunch of corruption, a bunch of insanity. But it happens all throughout time, not just now. There's people who kill the kings to take over reign of power. This has happened forever. And so when people get power, they are a threat to the establishment. Even if they're not good themselves, they're still a threat to other powerful people. So basically, it's just powerful people changing position, fighting, overtaking rule, revolutions. This is just the nature of lower consciousness. And so for
Yeah.
me, I don't care. I don't care like what revelation came from that. I already know the general story. It's a bunch of BS and muck and horrible, dirty energies. And
Yeah.
I'll save it, and I'll just do my meditation. And I already got past because I was in a long period of researching conspiratorial stuff, but I'm done with that. It doesn't serve me at all anymore. So
Mm.
I already know everything's corrupt, so I'm good. So yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
similar to like what happened with the UAP thing, that went to
Yeah. I was just
Congress,
gonna say that.
and yeah, they're just like, yeah, people are so like, I think they're just numb to all this. Like, there could be a picture of a UFO that they just recovered, and like people go, like they just don't even know if they should believe that anymore. It's just like so much stuff has been thrown at us. So, but got my bag of popcorn out. I will be watching this with interest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like they, how could I say, like they have all these crazy ghost stories, like the bullet hit here and it hit here and it hit and magically landed next to his body. Who knew? Like what? Like what? If you have your own discernment and you have your own popcorn and you're detached, you don't have no expectations from the narrative. You just watch the news like you watch Seinfeld. Like, yeah, that's their playbook. Like JFK and whatever happened at Butler. They got all these great ghost stories. That's funny. Like, this 16-year-old kid went on a roof and he shot at the president. He's crazy,
Yeah, they think
You
we're
know?
dumb, basically.
And yeah, they think we're idiots. Like, they spit in our face and they're like, yeah, there was a lone gunman who shot JFK. The bullet hit there, it hit here, and it bounced right next to his body. Who knew? Magic! Magic! Well, why does this bullet look brand new when if it went through a bunch of walls and hit a bunch of bone, it would be all messed up like a bullet? Shut up! We told you the story. You right?
Yeah,
No
follow the
thinking.
narrative.
We've done all the thinking for you. To shut up and regurgitate narratives. That's all you need to do. What are you talking about? You're not a bullet expert. We got the bullet experts. We told you the story. Shut up. Just regurgitate it. Go to work and tell your friends this is what happened, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just get my popcorn and say, well, that's what liars do. They lie, I'd be surprised if they told the truth. If they lie, oh, that's another day at the office, So, whether if it's the truth or not, I mean, like I always say, if it doesn't affect you in the present moment, what difference does it make, Like, these are all cool ghost stories, like, they're gonna tell you what happens in a faraway place, so they could get your tax money or whatever. Just don't get attached to it. Just laugh at it like the joke it is. Like, I got no dog in this fight. I got no skin in this game. Whatever. Let all you liars lie to each other. I want no part of it. I don't want to be around none of this energy. Like, even now, like, watching the news, like, it's like sticking my finger in a wall socket. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. I can't deal with this. These stories are too crazy. This season in America, if you would tell me that if I watched a series on Netflix and it was USA and I saw this episode of America, I'd be like, there's no way that's ever going to happen. Now it's like a documentary.
Yeah.
I watched this movie a while ago. It's called Idiocracy. And it was like about the future and like the president was like a wrestler with a monster truck. And it was like the stupidest thing you could think of. And then I watched it. And I was like, there's no way that would happen. Now I watch the news and it's like,
Yeah.
I guess it's a documentary. It's a documentary now, you know?
Yeah, we got a president who was a reality show host.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're fired.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? Hopefully he does the best he can for the American people, and we'll see. I'll just get my popcorn, you know? Hopefully I'm wrong. I always want to be wrong, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I hope they aren't liars. Please make them tell the truth. Make them protect and serve the American people. They are civil servants. They should help America be better. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I hope. But maybe I'm living in Maya myself. That's not how it works. So I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong. You know,
Yeah.
prove me wrong. I'll be the first to
Please.
admit I was wrong. You know, they're not liars. They did help the American people. Well, we'll see. Just get your popcorn and enjoy the show. It's going to be a funny one, that's for sure.
Well, one concrete thing that has changed that affects my life personally is that me and my wife are going through the green card process. As you know, it can be a long period if you're not in the US already. And now they canceled the requirement for the COVID jibby jab.
Nice.
So that's a good thing that I can that actually happened, that I can
Wow.
perceive that is reality. So I'm thankful for that.
Thank God. Right?
Right. Yeah.
Why did you even need a requirement for some? That's another fake narrative. Don't get me started.
Yeah. And how many years ago was that? And now we still require it. It's ridiculous. So, but yeah, that's been canceled. So, yeah.
Brian, me and you live in Thailand. If you go in 7-Eleven, they're still wearing masks today. You're like,
Right.
whew.
Yeah.
Whew. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Still in fear.
You know, like the other day I went to the beach, right? And me and my daughter like to go eat dinner on the beach and watch the sun go down. It's cool, right? So I went to the beach and this Thai lady pulled up next to me on the motorcycle and she saw I was a foreigner and she pulled up her mask and like tightened it and like looked at me. I was like,
Wow.
still drinking the Kool-Aid in 2025. All right, whatever. I'm not bothered by it. And you know, it's like how can I say, like virtual signature. Like
Yeah.
you're
Judging you.
you're a dirty foreigner and I'm going to show you. I'm like, you probably sleep in the jungle. I should have a mask on.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I don't know. I don't even look at it like, well, they're out here. You know, I'm gonna enjoy the sunset. Excuse yourself out my view. You're blocking the sun. I don't care what you think. You know.
And I think a lot of people are starting to not wear masks, more so now in Thailand. But the issue is that the organizations, these big franchises, they're requiring it to basically, like you said, virtue signal, like we're doing the right thing and we're being responsible. And so like supermart workers or wherever you work, they usually are going to require you to wear a mask at some level, or have you be worried about that. So I think that's sort of the driving force is these big, of course, the big money players. They want to look like they're doing the right thing, not
Yeah.
because they actually care if you're sick or not. That's the least of their worries. They're probably
Yeah.
connected with health organizations that make money off you being sick, so they probably want you to be sick, but they want to look good. That's the point. They want to look like they're doing the responsible thing. So it's all about, exactly
Hmm.
virtue signaling. Yeah. It's not about actually caring about other people. So, which is unfortunate. But I think some of the people here are seeing through the illusion, with the jab, because a lot of people had side effects and whatnot. And and there's been news in Thailand about that, about side effects, and so a lot of people do regret that. And like me and my wife tried to warn some people about that, like, yeah, there's no reason to take this, it's not worth it, but they didn't listen. But and that was like when it was just being introduced in Thailand. But a lot of people unfortunately had negative side effects. But yeah, it's all a learning experience, and hopefully they recover and can, be elevated by, this lesson, that they have. So
My thing too is like, if you're taking the truth from liars, you're wrong, right? So like,
Mhm.
in our
yeah,
country, when have they ever told the truth? Let's be honest, right? When have they ever
yeah,
not been corrupt? So if you
yeah.
think they care about your health, you're delusional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
No.
Like I mean there's so many I'll give you a good example. The last prime minister election, the Thai people voted for this guy and they said nah, right? And they kicked him out. So you know, those are the people you're taking health advice from. They
Mhm.
don't care. They don't care about us. Let's say it.
Yeah, I had an appointment at the VA, and it was an Indian doctor, a lady doctor, and she was wearing a mask. And I asked her about it, if she thought it was effective, which she did think so. But she didn't get the jab, because I kind of discussed that with her also, because she was asking me if I wanted the flu shot, and I'm like, no, I'm an anti-vaxxer, you know.
Yeah.
But so I think she was somewhat enlightened, but possibly in a hospital environment, one way you get sick is just by touching your face, so that at least prevents your hands from touching, your face. So it could probably prevent some minor stuff, but like, yeah, I don't really think it's effective against the COVID. It's just like a dehumanizing aspect for them to put on us. And the dentist lady also, she wanted to, give me fluoride. I'm like, nah, I don't. I'm an anti-fluorider.
Yeah.
I,
Keep my third eye open. Yeah, at
Yeah,
work,
it's like I was just gonna say, like, we should have, it should be up to us, our body, our choice. Like, you
Right.
can put out whatever you want on the market, our body, our choice. As long as you don't
Right.
force people, it's fine. Maybe you trick some people to do it, they get hurt, you should get sued, and then everything should go back to normal. I mean, it's very, very simple how it should work.
Right.
Like, people want to make it so complex and everything. No, it shouldn't be like that. That's why I'm glad RFK is up there, because I want him to hold these companies accountable.
Mhm.
That you can't just hurt people and not pay for it. If you're gonna hurt people, you're gonna pay for it. So, like this is so low consciousness that we gotta like bring out the belt and whip them in the ass. I mean, it's like you shouldn't have to do that, but they're like children in adult
Yeah.
bodies, you know? They're like, we're gonna trick people for money, and the consciousness is so low, we gotta get out the belt. We gotta
Yeah.
we gotta go after them, with the courts or whatever, because they're not gonna learn their lesson. And it's just like the story you told, Veronica. You stood your ground and you didn't take anything from that guy. That's what we need to
Yeah.
do as a country, as a people. And when one person does it, when you do it in your situation, the collective starts to feel the ripples of that energy. And if we all take
Take our power
if we
back.
all have our boundaries, yeah, take our power back, then that's going to happen. It's going to trickle up to these levels of government and everything as the collective consciousness grows in that. And so we're like, no, you're going to hurt our children. You're not going to do proper studies. No, you're going to jail. You're going to prison. Sorry. You're not going to hide behind this company label or whatever. You're going to prison, whatever. We're sick of this BS, and this is what should happen in your individual case, and then in the grand scope of things as well. And then it's very simple because even the people with low consciousness, they know the repercussions of doing something bad, and they're not going to do it. So it's like high elevated consciousness people need to know their power and take over more significant elevated power in governments and everything, and that will just happen naturally if you hold yourself accountable and you're honest with yourself, and you need to be honest about everything that's projected going on around you. So I think but it's a good some things have been good developments, and this whole COVID thing has been a big wake up for
Yeah.
many people who are kind of like in hypnosis before. They're like,
True.
everything's not too bad, and maybe the government's a little bit corrupt, but yet they try their best, and those people, yeah, they probably, a lot of them probably don't think that anymore. So there's very little trust in the media, which is perfect. That's what you want to
Yeah.
see. And so I think these are all learning lessons, and we're growing from it all as a population, as a human collective. So
True.
One thing I found interesting was the Biden pardons, that he pardoned Fauci. Like, why does Fauci need a pardon? Preemptive, a preemptive
Yeah.
pardon,
Well,
Because
you can answer your own question with that one. You know why he needs a pardon.
yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, you see they lie, they spit in your face and lie to you right to your face. Like, I will not pardon my son. He needs to go through due process and the justice system. I now pardon my son.
Okay.
This is who I'm taking the truth from. This is like asking the devil what I should do with my life. Like, liars are gonna lie. So when they lie, it doesn't surprise me at all. Like, yeah, that's what liars do. They lie. If he told the truth, I'd really be surprised. Liar, that's another day at the office over there. Yeah, pardon. You get a pardon. What'd you do? Oh, I molested some children. Okay, you're good. Pardon for you. Pardon for you. My son likes to smoke crack. Pardon for you. You're good. You know what? This is the leader of the free world. Oh my God, we're in super trouble. So yeah, but like what Brian said, it's good because COVID was a real wake up call for a lot of people where they're like, wait a minute, they don't care about us. Like, where are the commercials about exercising, going out in the sun, getting vitamin D? Nope. There's only a chemicals one solution, right? So it kind of woke you up like, what do you mean? If you exercise and sun, that doesn't make a difference? You just need some chemicals in your body? So, I don't know. You're the king of your castle. Do what's best for you. Don't trust anybody or give your power to anybody. Or a lot of people, the problem in America, a lot of people work all day. By the time they're finished at work, they're so tired. It's just way easier for them to regurgitate the narrative than think it out for themselves. But wake up. You have the power. You're in control of your body. You in control what goes into your body. Don't let anybody think for you. Think for yourself. Don't let anybody mandate what should be in your body.
and
Just mandate, yeah, what should be in your body. Just you make decisions for yourself. And no matter how much money they got or how much they try to scare you with you're gonna die or this and that, you have to make the ultimate decision. They have no control over your body, and don't give your power to anybody. You control the power. and be ready to step away from them, which will probably be a good blessing because you don't want to be around these people anyway. Like, nah, I'm not doing any of that. And if you persist with this issue, I'm not even going to be here because I don't want to be around negative energy. I'm trying to be around positive people and be happy. You know? I'm making a difference out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you stand your ground, that it's a way to correct the energy. And I feel like most people, they invite too much evil in to do that. Like even when they don't realize they are doing that, like just things that should be so common sense. Like for example, I watched some YouTuber last night, and he's like, "Oh, YouTube did this big study about how to be successful, and they found that if you actually have a deep message and you care about your followers, and it's not all
Who
about
knew?
it's not all about the good camera lighting and blah blah blah. You can actually have a good growing channel if you just connect with your like no shit.
No shit.
It's just like these people are so like so dense in these lower vibrations. It's like, oh wow, I'm starting to get it now because they've invited all these negative energies in about, politics and popular trends and all this stuff and money and all these distractions that like even the most obvious, clear things they can't get. It's like, be a good person. Don't just pretend you're being a good person. Be
Yeah.
a good person.
Yeah.
And look at yourself in the mirror. Don't just pretend you're helping people. Even, try to help people. Like,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Well, that's a amazing
Whoa.
concept. I can't believe it. We just authentically want to help people. Oh man, I can ponder that for a
Oh,
little bit.
Yeah.
I
blowing
gotta
my
meditate
mind.
on that. Wow. Yeah. I need to have a beer. I need to like really think about this. Yeah. So- oh
Yeah,
man.
it's totally ridiculous, and it would have worked for them anyway, because they're coming from a monetization place, not a pure heart place. Like, oh,
Yeah.
YouTube said I can make more money if I pretend to be helping people. I'm gonna pretend to help people. No, you should really help people,
Yeah,
and you
really.
shouldn't even think about money. You should just help people. Help people just because you do it from a pure heart, not for no money, or who cares what YouTube studies say. I want to get more viewers, so I'm going to pretend to help people. You're going about it the wrong way. Just do it with the open heart, and whatever happens, let it happen with no expectations. You know? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about the jab in November. I got this email from work saying you have to get your your next COVID booster shot. And I don't know, I started digging around on the website and I found a page where I could decline that. But I had to look around it. But other people at work are saying, I'm not doing that. It didn't work. But I'm seeing more people waking up. They're like, I'm not getting any more shots. Yeah, I think it's interesting because these people got it at first and now they're like, no. So I think that's a good sign that more people are waking up to what's
And
going
like,
on.
where I'm at, they kind of try to trick you, and like, you won't be able to go to the grocery store, you won't be able to do anything unless you take this jab,
Yeah.
And it really was a couple months of like, I'm not gonna be able to eat if I don't put this chemical in my
Yeah.
body. Damn, or I need this certificate to fly on an airplane, or I need whatever. But luckily that went away, So you just got to stand your ground and be like, nah, I ain't doing none of that, Zero. I don't
Yeah.
care. I'd rather sleep in the jungle than do any of that. And I'm trying to take the truth from liars. I don't trust any of you people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in control of my body and what I do with my body. I'm the king of my castle. I'm sovereign, however you want to put it. I'll do whatever I like. And if you don't like it, I don't care. I don't work for any of you. That's the best, what they call it, FU money, right?
Yeah.
My father was always like, the goal is to get FU money. So you don't need anybody's money. You're just like, I ain't doing none of that. None of that. None of that. I don't need any of your money, right? Like, nah, not interested.
Yeah.
So you're saying I can't work here unless I put some chemicals that's you say supposedly work in my body? I don't want to work here anyway. Goodbye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, do me a favor and tell me something stupid. Because I only want to work with good energy people. People who are drinking the Kool-Aid and regurgitating the narrative. I want to stay as far away from those people as possible. You know? And do me a favor. Send me back to my cave in the Himalayan mountains. Please, 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 please. You know? I'm tired of you people here. You know? I don't want to work with any of you. You know?
Yeah, I think if enough of us stand up, we have the power. They don't. They should be afraid of us.
Yeah, they're basically the 1%, and we're letting the 1% control the 99%.
Mm-hmm.
If we say, nah, we ain't doing none of this. I ain't doing none of that. What can they do? They lose all their power. If you give them your power, they have your power. But if you don't, they don't have no power. So you laugh at them like the joke. I ain't doing none of that, you say. You know?
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, when I used to DJ, I used to do that. I guess that's kind of where I learned this trick. I first of all, I go in, I don't care, right? Like, and I kind of changed the narrative, like, explain to me why I should work here, not why. I'm not going to tell you why I'm going to work here.
Yeah.
You need me. I don't need you. Like, what do I need you for? This nightclub without me is this 4 roofs and a wall. People come to a nightclub to hear music. I got the music. Explain to me why I should join your team. And they couldn't believe it. I remember, I'll tell you a funny story. One time, when I was DJing, I came out with a DVD called World Domination. It was like a collection of, you know, like you saw my house in the video, right? That was from that DVD.
Oh, okay.
So Universal Home Video was going to distribute my DVD. And they said we had a big meeting in Los Angeles at the main office, whatever. And they were like, explain to me why we should distribute your DVD. And I went to pass them my DVD to watch it, and then I took it back. And I said, listen, you either believe that this is a good DVD or you don't. If you don't believe it's a good DVD, I'm leaving right now. If I have a hand grenade, I'm not going to let you throw my hand grenade and see if it's a good hand grenade. You either believe it's a real hand grenade or not. If you don't believe this is a good DVD, then I'm going home. And the guy, the head of Universal, looked at his whole team and he goes, I like this guy. This guy got good business sense. We're going to distribute this DVD. Keep doing what you're doing, son. You know, you're doing a good job. He was like, this guy just, you know.
Yeah, like you have to believe in yourself.
He just pulled his pants down and showed his ass in front of the whole team. This guy don't care. And pretty much I didn't care because I was selling the DVD already out the, like, they call it like the trunk of your car, right? Like I was already selling it, so I could have still made money without them, you know? So I was like, if we're going to work, we're going to work. But we ain't going to play no games over here, so stop wasting my time, you know? Like, you know, if you want to do it, I don't know why you flew me all the way out here to LA to play games. Let's get to work, you know? So same thing. Like I only want to work with people who understand. Like I get offers to go to nightclubs all the time, and I'll walk in and I'll walk right out. I'm like, nah, not doing it. Don't feel right, you know? And even when I try to DJ, it never kind of works out anyway. It's almost like, nah, we've already exhausted this karma. No need to keep regurgitating it. But, you know, who knows? When I say that, I'm sure Baba G got a surprise for me. Like, oh, you think you're finished DJing? I got something for you, funny guy. Oh, boy, here I go again. All right. Good situation. So I'll do everything in my power not to go back to DJing. But, you know, we'll see, you know. famous last words, I'll say like that.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, it's got to be a good situation. It's got to be good energy. It's
Yeah,
got to be uplifting people, making people happy. If there's any kind of shadiness or cheating or scamming or I don't know what they call it, slave work, or like treating me like a dog or a slave or telling me what I should think, or I want no part of it. You know,
yeah,
I'm good. I'm good. I'm, I'm,
yeah,
I'm, the worst part about me is I'm comfortable. I'm satisfied in my life. I'm content, right? So if it happens or not, I really don't care. You know, I like what we're doing at the Kriya Yoga School, and if you want me to change, there better be a big bag of money and some good energy at the end of it.
yeah. So you have your freedom. Nobody can control you. That's a
Right, I
good
have a
place to
freedom.
be.
Yeah, that's the best place to be. Like I
Yeah,
love telling people that all the time. I don't work for you. I don't work for any of you people here. I don't work for anything. So you have no control here. You know? So that's a good situation. So I I guess well another thing today in Thailand is January 30th, and it would have been my father's 80th birthday, but he passed away
oh.
in 2020. So my father's looking down on heaven like, you got it, Chris. F you, money. Because that's
Yeah.
my father was a jazz musician. Like you see his alto sax here. Like
Hmm.
he always told me like, if you're gonna go through this music thing, it's not a steady paycheck. It's up, it's down. You work some days, you won't work for months. It happens, but if you're gonna commit to it, just commit to it wholeheartedly. And but it's gonna be a rough ride. And he wasn't joking. They're out here for sure. You know, and
Yeah.
they're waiting for a bright-eyed DJ white kid coming. Hello, I want to mix some music. Oh, we got one here.
Yeah, they're all
We
like
got a live one. You know.
yeah. How can we take
So
advantage of you?
I don't know. Oh,
Fresh
look,
meat.
look, yeah, fresh meat. Look, there's a quarter on the floor. Bend over and pick it up. Wink, wink. No,
No.
let it stay. The soap
Thank
dropped
you.
in the shower. Who's gonna pick it up? Not me. I'm leaving. Shower's not that important. So I don't know. I'm just making jokes, but yeah, pretty much. You know, like not really. But yeah, that I was lucky. That never really happened to me. So like, but still, I didn't carry that energy. I wasn't going for it anyway. Like you know, like yeah, like and what Brian said was true for me too. Drinking alcohol, smoking, drugs never appealed to me. It was almost like it just didn't resonate with me. I don't know why. Like I work in a nightclub before, and I could drink like 100 bottles of whiskey every night if I wanted to, for free. Like I just sign off. Like that's part of my DJ deal. But I just drank water all night. Like it never appealed to me. Customers
Yeah.
send you like bottles and champagne and whatever. I just pass them to the light man. Like, what am I gonna do with this? I don't like any of this stuff. So like beer and all that stuff, never appealed to me. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I probably exhausted all that karma in a previous life. Maybe I was an alcoholic and I learned from my mistakes.
Yeah.
And that doesn't appeal to me at all. Zero right now. You know.
Yeah, it brings you to a lower level of consciousness. That's why I think, and you can get addicted to it, of course. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of the addiction is an emotional addiction. So yeah, maybe it does factor in your past life experiences and all that. But and some people maybe they haven't experienced that enough in their past, and so this is their lesson. But yeah, for me, I could never get addicted to it. I mean, it would make me have really bad hangovers too. So, there's more times when I did it maybe, in college, and then when I came to Thailand the first time, I did it more. But eventually, it's just you look when you look deeper, it's everything's so meaningless, and you're kind of
Mm,
running around like a caveman, and it's like, what's the point of this? Like, it's such low consciousness. I mean, you meet people, and really that's the trap, is you are connected socially with people, and people are really important because they're like a mirror to you, and they uplift you, and they keep you grounded, they keep you conscious, they keep you present. And so that's kind of the trap, is you enter alcohol into that equation, and that now people are elevating their egos together, and
Mm.
basically going down the wrong path together, you know? And so, like, when you remove these substances and you just you commune with people for good uplifting reasons, then it has the opposite effect, and you're using that social interaction to make you present towards the better things. So people who maybe they have a church group, or they have some other group, of people that they're just uplifting each other, and that's really their only motivation. Then it's much more pure, and it's much more, it's much better, and you feel more empowered in that situation. When you need a substance, it's doing the opposite. It's making you addicted, or it's making you have a crutch to that, and then you have a crutch to that, and then you feel attachments that you don't want to let people down because they also have the same crutch, and now you're in this group where everyone's addicted to the same thing, and it's harder to pull yourself out. So I feel like that's kind of a lot of people, the boat they're in. And there's all these social pressures when you're growing up, and after you graduate high school, you go to college, and there's this party scene, and that's what people want you to get into. You're still trying
Mm.
to find yourself. Like, who am I? How do I find
yeah.
that out? Oh, I need to socialize. Oh, you want to socialize? Here you go. Here's all the drinking you want. Oh,
Mm.
here's the drugs. Here's this. They try to give you the devil on a platter.
Mm.
And try to keep you going down that line. So yeah, it's a lot you have to step away from. But then when you realize that it's all an illusion, then it's a breath of fresh air to have your own empowerment, and say no to things that are not appropriate for your soul. So
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was younger, I remember drinking with some friends and I wanted to keep up and I passed out and I lost time
Mm.
and I like, oh, this isn't good. Somebody could take advantage of me and I don't even like
mm,
the taste of
yeah,
this alcohol and why am I
Mm.
doing this? But I felt
Yeah.
like I had to have that experience, but yeah, this could put me in a you know, put me in a bad position and somebody could take advantage of me. I'm not, yeah, I don't need to do this. But I think I had to have that experience too. But yeah.
yeah. And I was kind of mixing, like, I wanted to elevate myself and, experience God by doing, magic mushrooms or some other thing, to promote that connection. I was trying to, because I didn't know how to connect. I didn't know about Kriya yoga at that time. Like, I'm like, what can
Yeah.
I do? I tried qigong and this other stuff. Okay, it kind of helps, but not really. So I wanted to. I was trying to figure it out. Like, how can I do this? And okay, maybe I have this herb called Salvia divinorum. This is gonna basically just gonna make me spin around and, and
Yeah.
not know what reality I'm in. I've heard stories where people take that, and they go into a parallel universe reality, and they feel like they've been there for years, and then when they finally come back, they feel like they've been gone for like 10 years or something.
Oh,
So,
wow.
well, yeah, so it's mind bending, but
Mm.
but like, I didn't know, like, how to, like, reach out to God, but now I know. So now I don't have to be playing these games and stuff. But you kind of mix things too, because you want to connect to God, but also there's these social opportunities, and you want to connect with that as well. So you're kind
Yeah.
of mixing things, and you don't really know. You don't have great discernment, so you're kind of in and out and in and out and trying to figure it out. So I think that's most of our lives, is trying to figure that out. But yeah,
Yeah.
like, when I would do like marijuana or something, I was completely disempowered.
Mm.
I couldn't, like, think straight. I couldn't see straight. You know, I was just like, a worthless sack of BS, walking
Yeah.
around and not
Mhm.
having any insights. And it's like, this is a complete waste of time, you know? Like what am I doing here? I'm just basically checking out, you know? And this
Yeah.
is not uplifting. This is not uplifting at all. So so basically though, what I think God led me to is a place where it's impossible for me to do any drinking or anything. And that's when I had my stomach issue.
Mm.
It made me so I couldn't drink anymore. I could just cannot, like physically, I cannot drink alcohol. And I think that was like the sort of divine challenge that I had to have in my life. And I wasn't addicted to alcohol or anything, but you know, it's just like a normal person, like a normal person. Maybe on the weekend you have a little bit or something like that. You know, it wasn't like I was addicted or anything like that, but you know, it's a normal crutch for people to have, right? So I would do that sometimes. It's just what everyone else does. I'm not attached to it, but I did that and was trying to figure out how do I connect to God. I'll do magical mushrooms, I'll do different things. And then I had the stomach problem. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
So
It's like solve
and
that
and
problem.
and that and then nothing after I didn't do it, then I realized I didn't have to do it. And then I realized I feel better if I don't do it. You know, so it's like this, it's not only like Ved Mooney talk about this, about people will convince themselves it's not addicting for them, but it may
Mm.
not be biologically addicting for you, but what's addicting can be the lifestyle and your perception that it's normal. You know, your perception that this is what everyone does, and why not me? I mean, I'm just like everyone else, you know, normal person, right? And so that's the perception, and that's what makes it sort of addictive, is like you feel like it's expected of you. Well, everyone else is drinking, of course I can drink too, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But when I had that health problem, that just cut everything. Because I'm like, it doesn't matter what my opinion is, I can't do it. Or I'm gonna be in pain
Yeah.
if I do it. So I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And then
The
I
price
just
is
didn't
too
do
high.
it. Yeah, and I just didn't do it, and I followed into meditation. It's like God's message that you don't need any of this. You don't need any of
Yeah.
this in your life at all. You can cut it all. And even when I would do, so my stomach hurt. Okay, I can smoke marijuana. I did that like a few times. It didn't do anything for me anymore. I just was like, what I feel with meditation, what I feel with yoga, connecting to God, it doesn't even touch that, not even close. And it's almost going in the wrong direction in terms of
Yeah.
the energy and you know, not being in control. When in meditation it's the opposite, you know, you're in that peace state, you're in control completely. So yeah, it's like my experience that I had to have these challenging situations, they were the greatest benefit for me in the long term, you know.
Mm.
So maybe for some people they have to have some sort of trauma or some sort of negative health or some other experience that can cultivate that for them. So yeah, lessons are blessings, right?
Yeah.
Lessons and blessings. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, so that conversation was kind of tailor made for me because I still struggle with alcohol. I
Mm.
drink like a 40 ounce almost every day, you know, on my way home to, you know, just whatever. And even like I was at the yoga and there's another, the yogini there. She's actually one of the instructors and her job is a bartender also. And
Mm.
she drinks. And I told her, I think I kind of have a little bit of a drinking problem. You know, I drink about, this amount per day. And she was just like, not trying to enable you, but that's really not that much. Maybe not for a bartender, but yeah, I'm still struggling with that, but I'll see the light here. I
That's
mean,
what you probably what that's reinforcing in you that, oh yeah, it's normal what I'm doing. So I'll
it
just keep
did. I did. It was like, I
yeah.
was like, she said it wasn't that much. It's like
Yeah.
uh, my
Well,
ego
it's
will
like
take any
yeah,
excuse to
yeah.
continue the habit.
Yeah.
Well, if you're a bartender and you love that work, you might have some more elevated sort of ego. I don't know. Like I couldn't do that, like personally, like too much ego around. But like if she's at this level of ego and you're down here and she's telling you, yeah, it's pretty good, but you don't want to be compared to that. You know, that's why it's not good to compare yourself to other people. Like
True.
you just live your own path because they're projecting on you because they're even deeper in this ego game. And so they can say, "Oh yeah, what you're doing is fine, you know, it's much better than me, you know." So you feel better about yourself, but it's like I don't want to be attach myself or compare myself to someone that's already deep in the matrix, you know. So that's not the right way to go, you know? So At least
it,
I'm at this part of the matrix, and you're down there, so better. Yeah. But you're both in
and
the matrix, so it's the same thing ultimately.
and when you really gain mastery, like me when I DJ, there's thousands of people drinking around me, so the collective alcoholism is through the roof. But
Yeah.
yea though I walk through the valley of death, I shall fear no evil, right? Like I'm the guiding
Right.
light
Yeah.
in there. Like I don't care what all you lower frequency vibration beings are doing. Not doing none of that. I'm up here. I'm wearing all white. I don't like to roll in the mud with the pigs, if you know what I'm saying. So like you really attain mastery when you could, like my guru used to say, anybody can meditate and have a still mind in the cave in the Himalayan mountains or in the forest of India. But if you go to the New Delhi or you go to Times Square and then you can meditate, then you attain mastery.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Even if there are thousands of people drinking around you, you just go into samadhi and put up your Kavacham shield and none of it affects you. Like, so it takes a lot of work. It takes some practice and to get to that mastery. But I believe in you, Paul. You could do it. You know, just
You can do
you
it.
just gotta realize it doesn't serve you no more. Like, I can't do it no more. When I used to DJ, I used to drink like a liter of Coke every night, and I tricked my mind. My mind tricked me into thinking I need the caffeine to stay up. I gotta DJ till 4 in the morning. I need this caffeine. I just woke up one day and I was like, I can't do it no more. I'm not a 21-year-old kid. And this all this chemicals and this Pepsi doesn't serve me anymore. I can't treat my body like an amusement park anymore. I'm getting older, you know. I gotta take care of my physical
Yeah.
meat suit, my junk car, you know. I can't just, you know, smash it into a wall every night. So, and it didn't really serve me anyway, because I would wake up like a ton of bricks, like, oh damn, you know, that was a crazy night. So, you know, and so you just realize it doesn't serve you no more, and yeah, and after that, I just drank water every night. And I wouldn't even drink water from the nightclub. I would stop at 7-Eleven and buy my own water
Yeah.
because I didn't even trust the water at the nightclub. And when people bought me drinks, I wouldn't drink it either. You know, like there's a lot of stories about, I don't know, people putting stuff in your drink or whatever. So I was just like, nah, no thanks. I bring my own bottle to the party. You know? My own water. And people couldn't believe, like, what do you mean you don't drink or smoke? You're a DJ. And I was like, what does that have to do with drinking or smoking? All DJs drink and smoke.
Yeah.
No, not
You could
me.
still be
I
a
don't.
good DJ.
I don't. And you know, like drinking or smoking doesn't define a DJ at all. You know, like I don't see your point. Like that stereotype is wrong. I'm breaking the stereotype, right?
Yeah.
So even though she works in a she's a bartender, works in a nightclub, break the stereotype. I'm going the opposite way. I'm doing yoga. I drink water all night. I'm good. I'm just here to pay my bills, but I'm not here to engage in the lower frequency vibrations. Yeah, and you just realize
Yeah.
it doesn't serve you no more. And that's the realization I came to too. But it's not an easy path. Like it's easy. I mean, I could say because I went through it, like with Coke or soda, whatever you want to call it. But it takes some work. It's difficult to let go of that crutch that's you think you've needed for so long. So I had to go through some withdrawal, Pepsi withdrawal. You know, but it was okay. It sounds weird, like Pepsi withdrawal. You would say like heroin withdrawal or something, but yeah, same thing. Like, you know, your body gets into habits, and your body tricks you into thinking you need something. And it takes a real strong mind and real mental power to say, no, we're not doing it no more. I'm in control. I'm not a slave to alcohol or smoking or any of that. I'm in control. And now I'm getting older. I just can't do it no more. When I was 20, whatever. I just can't do it no more. It doesn't serve me no more.
Yeah, and it's kind of a tug and pull game, when you take it away, then your ego is telling you, why'd you do that? You need it. So
Yeah.
it's really, you want to focus on getting to the state of freedom, because when you have true freedom, that's when you don't even care about it. You don't
Yeah,
even think
true.
about it. It doesn't even cross your mind. Drinking alcohol would not cross my mind now. I'm completely over it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's kind of getting past that tug and pull game of duality and breaking past that into true freedom, which is with God. And you doing Kriya, that's the perfect way to get out of that too, because that's going to give you this energy from God that can blast
Mm,
you past all that. Because
yeah.
these energies of duality, like what you feel with alcohol or whatever, the amount of energy you get from that is very little. It'll give you some anxiety relief, and it maybe make your physical body relax a little bit, but outside of that, it's not that profound. And so when you start feeling these profound energies from God, it's pointless. Why do I want to, why do I want to shut down my connection with God by having a substance when I can like just elevate myself and I don't have to go down. I'm just completely elevated more and more and more every time I get deeper in meditation. And then you just realize that maybe your subconscious can realize the pointlessness of playing those games. And but yeah, you should feel like not either side. You shouldn't feel like I must have alcohol, and you shouldn't feel like I
Yeah.
can't have alcohol. Because that's the tug and pull, that the duality that it wants you to dance around in, where people get addicted, but then they don't really get over the addiction. They're taking it out of their life, but the psychological root of that addiction is not healed. And so even though they're taking it out of their life, a deep part of their subconscious still wants it. A deep part of their subconscious still thinks they need it, right? So true healing is where you realize it doesn't matter either way. And so I think that's the freedom you want to get to, is where if you have it every once in a while, and when you have it, you don't feel anything. And it's like, yeah, I had it, not a big deal, I didn't feel anything, and then eventually you just don't need to have it at all because you don't feel anything. So that's the freedom, I think. And yeah, I think you can do it. You have all the tools. Yeah, so
Thank
Yeah.
you for that vote of confidence. Yeah, I did.
yes,
I
for
did
sure.
write down about freedom in my little journal here because it came up in my
Mm,
mind, and it gave me peace just thinking about freedom. I was just thinking about like the freedom I have as just being my own boss. I didn't have to go. I was normally I would work today, but I just said, no, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go take care of this truck, and it's because I can, and truck's weighing on
mm,
me. I'd rather just take the truck in. And I was just thinking, wow, I'm free. Like, yeah, it would be great to, because yeah, it's like all those attachments are like a ball and chain on me.
Mm.
yeah.
So, but we have all different people in here that had different life experiences, and I got into that from an early age and used it as a crutch for so long. And yeah, it's hard to give it up, kind of. But as you said, I have the tools. When I start getting antsy, I just have to like get into the mantra, and yeah, it's like
Mm,
my it's where my mind goes. Yeah, if my mind goes to that, then I'm gonna like start thinking more and more. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. But if I can keep my mind on something else, then that thought will just drift away. And yeah, so
And that's why these
yeah.
mantras are beautiful, because they keep you like laser focused on the bija and the sounds in
Mm.
the mantra. So your monkey mind and your mental clatter doesn't really have time to focus on anything else because you're such laser focused on the mantra. So yeah, that's why it's good. And any of these
Mm,
practices, like the sadhana, your mind doesn't have time for any distractions or any things. So anytime you feel yourself going down that path, like I need this, just make a conscious effort, see it as an opportunity to do your mantras. Like I gave you mantra diksha for a great Krishna one. That one's really powerful. When I even said it, I was like, oh yeah, I need to do this more. I forgot, I've been caught up, but yeah, this is a great one.
Jai
And if
Krishna.
Jai Krishna, if you meet a Hare Krishna and you tell them you have that mantra, they're not going to believe it, because that's like a 10-year Hare Krishna mantra before they give you diksha for that. They'll be like, what? Because I met some Hare Krishnas and I told them, like, they were like, that's why I asked Curtis what mantra you have. He's like, oh, the basic one, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, like I was like, oh yeah, so when I met a Hare Krishna, like a real devotee in the Himalayan mountains of Krishna, and I told them I had that mantra that I gave you, they couldn't believe it. They were like, no way. That took me over 10 years to get that from my guru.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, so.
Well, thank you for that. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I hope it gets you out of some tough times, Paul, and uplifts you always. So that use the Krishna mantra as your go-to mantra if you feel like you need to drink some alcohol or smoke, or And when you see that convenience store, just keep driving. I know how it is. Like, oh, I'm getting gas. I need to pick up some Pepsi, before I go to work. It's easy. You get into that habit, that samskara, that vasana. Like you kind of you get into that. Like, okay, I go to the store, get gas. I need to get some smokes. I need to get some alcohol. Like you get into that rhythm, right? You gotta break that chain.
Mm-hmm.
So I got gas, driving away.
Yeah. And it
But
might
I
be a
know,
good idea to, I was gonna say, it might be a good idea to actually document this. Like whenever you have this impulse and you override it with your presence, with the stillness, you write it
yeah,
down and be like, see, I did it there. I
right,
overpowered it. And then when you write it down, you're like manifesting it where you can see it. And you can show your ego, see, I did it. I can do it. I can do it. I don't need it. I'm breaking it. And then that like reinforces the pattern. But when you just stay in your mind, it's kind of like it's hard to like break it because you're
yeah,
not doing anything. But if you actually just literally write it down, like, yeah, or make a really strong mental note. I don't know what works for you, but make a real strong mental note, like I overpowered that. That's very significant because I have been doing that too. Because when I
mm,
wake up in the morning, my mind's always like racing, and I'll like just be like, no, I need to go into stillness. I don't care about this, so this about business, or this about this, my health, blah blah blah. I just need to overpower this, and I try to like make note to get that stillness to override it, and then I do my yoga and stuff and try to keep doing that. And so, like for me, I have to reinforce it because if you don't, you're gonna be overwhelmed by the ego. It's gonna bulldoze you over. You're not gonna have a chance. But if you like really make a
mm,
mental note and reinforce that, then I think you have a chance to keep building on that. And so when you make that a habit, then you're kind of getting footing against the ego. If you don't make these good things a habit, then it's gonna be hard to get any traction. But if you keep doing these things habitually, consciously with your willpower, then eventually things are gonna kind of turn in the correct direction. And that's been my experience is I just have to use like all my willpower to kind of break the pattern
mm,
and try to feel that stillness. And then like the more you feel that stillness, the more you kind of know how to go into that. And I'm just like at the first level of that probably. But like I can feel that in that state, it's like the watcher. I don't know what they call that in Hindu, but you are the watcher. What is the name for the Atman, right?
yeah,
Like
Atman,
yeah, you are the Atman. There's no other. It's just literally I can't explain it because there's no story to it. It's just you're here, and it's the stillness, it's the nothingness, and then
right,
when you can get used to getting to that state, you get used to it and you know you can do it. And then when you know you can do it, you keep trying to do it, keep trying to fight through the ego and get there. And so that's what I've been doing personally with my life is just feeling that state and fighting against the ego and trying to get traction against the ego, and like noting my progress as well. Like last week, I couldn't do it as much. This week, I did a little bit more because it's not going to happen immediately. Like your condition patterns are so strong, but just take celebrate your small wins, and eventually those small wins are going to be like a grand win of you completely overcoming it. So
Great idea. I mean, I do write down. So like every morning, that's part of my routine. I write down everything
mm,
from the previous day. So right now it
mm.
says, got off work, drank 3 beers. Next time it'll
At
be
least you're writing it down.
yes. I'm reinforcing the
Gotta
negative,
start
but
somewhere.
no, normally, normally it's good stuff, nice things. Like that's the first thing I think about. What was nice, that I had yesterday, and that starts me off on a positive note for today. I was like, oh yeah, yesterday was a pretty nice day. Let's make this one even better. So yeah, that will happen one
But
way.
even if you do something bad, it's good to write it down because then it's in your face. You can't ignore it. Because if you're just in your mind, you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Da, da, da. But if you write it down, you're like, oh, yeah, I did do that. Yeah, that wasn't good. And then you have to face it, right? So you're more conscious of it. And the only way to get over it is to be aware of it and attack it with presence. You can't attack it with more unconsciousness, then you just float even more into the problem. So that's still positive. Yeah, even if you fail, we all fail. We all fall off. We're all under construction, as you've said before. House is under work, right? So you just
Yeah.
bring presence to it, and that's the best you can do. So yeah. So
And you could make like an affirmation for yourself. Alcohol no
yeah,
longer serves me, and just
yeah.
keep saying that. Like when you pass that convenience store that you always stop at or wherever you buy this, say smoking no longer serves me, and just say it. Just keep repeating that affirmation. So and you'll begin to break down that wall and that obstacle with this affirmation.
Mm,
Smoking no longer serves me. Beer no longer serves me. You keep saying it over and over and over until it's like Patanjali's 9 emotional release techniques. Can I let this go? You keep saying it till you can let it go. And if you can't let it go, why can I not let this go? And you realize it doesn't serve you anymore. So you just keep letting it go. Like uh, uh, beer that no longer serves me. And right when you go
mm,
find yourself getting into that habit, beer no longer serves me. So, or you could kind of cut down. Instead of 4 beers a day, you make it 2 beers a day. Then you make it 1 beer a day. Then it's gone. And you keep
mm,
repeating that. Beer no longer serves me. And it will start losing its taste too. Like, you'll be like, why'd I even do this? Like, what's the point? Like, how does this serve me? So it's almost like self reflection and self observing yourself. Like, I don't need this no more. This don't serve me. I'm gonna let this go. So it it's easier said than done. It's gonna be a mountain to climb, but you could overcome it. I believe in you,
Absolutely.
Paul.
Thank you. I will be working on
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's just like those subconscious patterns are in the background are saying like you need it, it's normal, you need it, it's
Right.
normal. So if you do the affirmation to deprogram that, like
True.
actually no, I don't need it. It doesn't serve me. I don't need it. It doesn't serve me. And now that vibration is gonna unwind that other false vibration that's running in the background of
True.
your consciousness. And so then after that programming, if you stick to that, eventually, yeah, it's going to completely override it. And you're going to be like, this is pointless. Why did I even care about that before? Because now you've deprogrammed that false consciousness in your psyche. So yeah, it's powerful. Yeah, I've done affirmations before. I used to always write them down, but now my
Mm,
practice is kind of like my affirmation.
yeah.
So if you stick to your practice and just stick to simplicity, that also is very effective. So yeah,
Yeah, and I understand the war between the devil and the angel on your shoulder. Like,
yeah.
oh, you only drink 4 beers. This lady drinks 100 beers at the bartender. Who cares how much she drinks? You can overcome it, Paul. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's that constant uh, positive energy and negative energy. But yeah, and you begin to see like the ego's arguments aren't even good. They're kind of laughable, right? Like, but it's there. It's trying. Like Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, your ego's always hiding behind that tree over there. So it's looking for an opportunity to come in. Like, oh, see, Paul, you're doing a good job. You drank 4 beers. She drank 200 beers last night at work. You know. So it's giving that confirmation to the ego, right? Like, oh yeah, the door's open. We got him. You know. so,
It's funny.
so
It's funny you said that because, like, even right before the sad song, I was thinking about that. I was like, wow, you know, I've got like a devil on this shoulder, angel over here, and I'm like, I was gonna use that analogy, you know, yeah, it's exactly like that, and I'm just like, I know I'm a good person, you know, just because I'm drinking, you know, it's like,
Yeah,
um,
it's the dialogue between the poles of duality, and then
mm,
you realize that the actual reality, there is no dialogue, it's just peace.
right.
And so even the angel on your shoulder is trying to compete for attention with the devil on your shoulder. So
Mm,
just because there's an interaction with the angel and the devil, they're all kind of part of the same thing. So even the good one is making a conversation and it's giving credence to the devil, basically.
mm,
It's saying like you exist, right? So that happens with me when there's this back and forth dialogue with my different parts of my ego.
mhm,
And then I
mm,
just realized that I'm just gonna get beyond both of you, because
right.
like one thing, like a negative thought will come in, and then the positive thing will be like, no, you shouldn't think like that. Think peacefully, right? And it's just this back and forth, the ping ponging between the different poles of duality. And then I just realized I don't need to have this conversation with either of you. I'm not
Right.
choosing I'm not choosing a side, right? I'm not this fake angel or this fake devil. Okay. I am the all, and there doesn't need to be a conversation. And that's basically what meditation is. You realize there doesn't need to be a conversation. There doesn't need to be anything. There just needs to be complete acceptance of the wholeness that you are connected to. And that's it. There's no conversation. And then the
Mm,
conversation starts to end more quickly because you're not fueling it, because even if you stick to like the angel, you're still fueling the conversation. It keeps going, like, yes, I have to reinforce that I'm right. I'm the angel. I represent good and you represent bad. And you're bad. I'm good. Right. But you're still separating your consciousness when you do that.
mm,
And so it still kind of feeds into that sort of conversation of lower level ego, even if you cling to the good side, it still invites the bad side to just come and meet it, right? Because the consciousness, it is whole. These are illusions we're seeing, and so the bad is going to follow the good, the bad. They're going to like interact together. So if you just kind of leave it all and just whatever, I'm just going to be in peace, and you can have your conversation in someone else's mind. I'm gonna be here, bathing in the grace of God and just being in meditation and be in peace. So I think when you have that sort of realization, it helps to just get beyond the inner conversation. Yeah. So
yeah, that's well put, Brian. Because when you reach samadhi, there is no conversation. So like even these conversations are kind of part of duality, right? Like you're right. Like it's even when the good angel's talking to the bad angel, that it's still a conversation, and that's still a ego play on stage. When you, how can I say, when you get past both any conversation, that's when you reach a state of stillness. There is no conversation. So that's why, like in meditation, like I told you before, Sudi is the best way. It kind of cleanses. Sudi means like a cleansing, right? It's cleansing your monkey mind, your distraction, your mental chatter. It's getting rid of the good angel and it's getting rid of the bad angel. So there can't be any angels when you go into meditation. It's his stillness, right? It's his oneness. It's his existing. It's his being. So like, yeah, that was well put, Brian. When I thought about that, yeah, that's exactly right. Because when you reach that state, there is no devil. There's no good. There's no bad. There's no anything. It's
Mm.
just being, you're just existing. So even what Brian said is true. Like most people like to look at the good side, but even the good is a ego play on stage also. So there's no how do they say this in yoga? They say live in equanimity, which means there's no good or bad. It's just all equal. It's all consciousness. We don't think about any of it. We're just existing in the present moment. So like there is no good or bad. It doesn't exist in the mind of a high level yogi. He lives in equanimity. So he doesn't put no judgment on anything. He just goes past and he cleanses those thoughts and those distractions so he can have a profound and dynamic meditation or any practice without any thoughts or anything, just existing and being.
And if you realize that that good angel, that false consciousness of a good angel requires the negative consciousness of the devil. They both need
Right.
each other. They
True.
both are part of duality. And so it might seem like they're against each other, but actually they're both together, working together
Right.
to keep you in the duality state of illusion. They both need each other. And so you might seem like, no, I'm a good person, go listen to this one. No, that's bad if I do that. Okay, whatever. But it's all at the end of the day, it's the same. You need to let all of it go and get
Yeah,
past
yeah,
that
sure.
entire conversation. Yeah, because the good angel, even though might want you to think that it hates the devil, it actually loves the devil because this is the game of duality that it can live
Mm.
in. Because when you get beyond that conversation, it dies. The good angel dies, the bad angel dies, it all dies. So this is the part of ego that needs other parts of ego to kind of survive. So so just burn it all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Swaha,
Wow.
right?
Um,
Yeah.
to go
Yeah.
deep on that subject, like, do you believe like God like created the devil for a purpose, or was that like a failed experiment? Like God didn't really know what would happen when he unleashed this, and he's just like watching to see what plays out, or is that all part of God's plan? You know, like having a devil. What do you think about that?
Well, I would first say a God defined is a God confined. So like I couldn't even say what God knows or what doesn't know. That's
Good point.
beyond
Good
my
point.
beyond my comprehension. But like Brian said, it's part of this duality play of good and bad. Like to have contrast between good and bad, you need both sides. But really, at the end of the day, none of it matters because you're trying to live in a state of equanimity. So the good needs the polarity of the bad to show that it's good, and the bad needs the polarity of the good to show it's bad. But really, this is this a ego play on stage that once you get overcome it, you just see right past it. Like you realize this doesn't even matter. Whether God created the devil for whatever reason, who knows? But what difference does it make? Like how does that serve you in the present moment? You try to be as good as you can and be the best person you can and help people in the present moment, and you kind of go past this like it's a cool story to eat your popcorn to, but it really doesn't matter at the end of the day because it's just some distraction to get you down that rabbit hole when you don't really need to be down the rabbit hole. Focus on your sadhana and you'll get past all this. Because when you're in the full wheel pose, you're not thinking what the devil is or what God is. You're like, I'm focusing on this practice so I don't fall and hit my head. So that's why
More practical.
all these yoga all this yoga sadhana is really helpful because you can't help but just concentrate on the practice you're doing. So it really cuts down the monkey mind and the mental chatter because you only have time for focusing on the mantra or focusing on the asana, the pranayama, or your meditation.
Got you. All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to sign off. It's getting late here in Texas. So thank you for
Okay.
all the great advice. And I
Thank you.
will endeavor to, clean up my act.
Oh, you're doing a great job. We're always a house under construction, so don't take any of it personally. Just do the best you can. Like I said, try to make those affirmations. Alcohol doesn't serve me. Beer doesn't serve me in the present moment. And try next time you go to the convenience store to get gas, just to get gas and keep driving.
Absolutely.
But we're all a house under construction. We all have some work to do, so you don't take it personally.
I
It is
don't.
what it is. Tomorrow's a new day. We try to do better tomorrow, but you're doing a great job, Paul. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Good night, guys.
Good night.
All right. Good night.
Uh,
Have a great night, Paul.
Thank you.
Oh, I think we have some questions on here. Now that I
Oh,
don't have you, Veronica.
I know.
Let me see. Okay, hold on. It's
Oh,
raining
Cristobal.
job. Yeah, it's raining job. Can you see that? Yeah, maybe read it to me. It's a little small for me.
Let's see. Hello, it's raining. Job activity. We'll get to share all kinds of good news next week during Satsang. Love you. Take care.
Oh, great. So Cristobal sent in that he would like some job activity, some job openings to be burned in the Holy Yagna yesterday. So I'm glad that came to fruition. And he's getting a lot of job activity. Because I remember his request yesterday. I burned it up in the Holy Yagna fire. So I'm glad that powerful Holy Yagna fire is working out for all of our Kriya Yoga School members. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you're not a member of the Kriya Yoga School and you want your problems burned up, sign up to the Kriya Yoga School. Brian made a cool website. And let me see if I can get that banner. What is that? All right. Yeah, we got a free 7-day trial. Try it out. No pressure. Brian made a great website. Check it out. A lot of good information on there and everything. So feel free to join us at the Kriya Yoga School. I will burn up all your problems twice a month. Oh, and do we have another question? How did I get back to that question? Damn it. I don't know how to get back to it. I think somebody
I think
else
it's
said
comments
hello.
on the side.
Oh, damn, I messed up. We see comments? Oh, comments.
Yeah, I think that you hit that.
Oh, okay. Prank calling radio stations said hello. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, prank calling radio stations. That girl is prank calling radio stations? Okay.
Okay.
All right. Wish you all the best with that. All right, I think that's all the comments.
Yeah, I was thinking like another thing that hooked me to drinking in the beginning was like people would say you're so much fun, Veronica. And
Huh.
I like, what did I do? Oh, you got on the table and you were dancing, and I don't even remember this. And I don't know, it's like they were laughing at me, and they don't care about me, and I was thinking I could be fun without drinking. I don't have to do this. But I don't know, it was just a realization I had, but I don't know, then my ego was like, I want people to think I'm fun. I want I want people to like me. But yeah.
Yeah.
Be our clown. Come on, make us laugh.
Yeah, I need to be a clown.
Now we like you. This is you.
Yeah.
Remember, this
Yeah,
is you. You're the
can laugh
clown.
at me.
You're the
I'm
clown
jumping on
person. Yeah,
tables.
this is your
Yeah.
identity. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This ego is a crazy thing, right? Like it tricks you. so much into doing stuff that you don't want to do, right? And
Yeah.
it hypnotizes you into thinking you're something you're not. Like you need this water to make you be more attractive or more fun to people.
Yeah.
And then you really step back from the TV and you say, I need water for people to like me? That don't make no sense. I
Yeah.
don't want
And they,
if I need water for people to like me, then I don't want these people around me because I want people to like me for who I am,
yeah.
purely inside me and the energy I have, not for the circus tricks I do when I'm on this water.
Yeah. Like Brian said, be their clown. Yeah. Yeah, they don't like me. I'm like,
Yeah, and when you don't care, you just do whatever. Like it's almost like in my case, like it's almost like a super freeing liberation kind of thing. Like I just don't care. Like you
yeah.
know, like I
Feels
don't.
so good to say that.
Yeah, it feels so good to say I don't work for any of you. Like I don't care what you think. I don't work for you. I never want to work for you, and I don't work for anybody. I just do whatever. And if you don't like it, who cares? I don't want. I don't care. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a great thing. Like they can never believe when I say I don't want their money. Like I've told many people that, and they can't believe it. Everybody wants our money. I don't want it. What? What do you mean? I mean, I don't want your money. I don't need it. You know? Really? What? They can't believe it, right? Like they're hypnotized into believing that they're the big boss and everybody loves them and everybody respects them and they're such a genius because they got some kind of fairy dust money from cheating people or whatever they did to get their money, and I don't want it. I only want positive money, uplifting money, helping money, you know? Not dirty blood money.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, when I tell them that, they never can believe it. Like, nah, I'm good. I don't need your money. What? Yeah, I'm good. You know? So, oh, I guess we lost Veronica. Maybe her phone died.
Mm.
Or maybe she'll
But
come
yeah,
back. Oh, she's back. Let
right on.
me see. Let me try to change this. Maybe this will look. Yeah, that looks better, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm learning this StreamYard thing on the fly. If you're watching
Yeah,
on YouTube and I haven't got to your comments, Veronica, our moderator, is not here today, so I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah, I miss having my laptop. I don't like being on this phone. It's like,
But we're working it
Yeah.
out. We still got a good show today, a good satsang.
so I was curious, do gurus sometimes take on other people's karma? Like when they have health challenges, are they taking on other people's karma?
It depends. Like there's a story in Nityananda where they bring their child to him, and for to help her child, and he said he won't help her because it's her karma to get through. So
Yeah.
it depends. Like some gurus don't want to take on other people's karma to become their own karma because it's something they have to walk through. It depends on their perception. Like some people would say, okay, I'll take it on, or some people say, no, I won't. So it just depends. But in my opinion, your karma is your thing to overcome. So like passing it off to somebody else is kind of prolonging the problem. You kind of got to face it head on and overcome that mountain yourself. Like I always say, you want to dance, let's dance. So you look at your karma like that's the best you got. I'll dance with you till the sun comes up. However long it takes, let's dance. So when you have that more mindset and that perception, it begins to dissipate a lot faster. Like this is the best you got. Okay, I do this every day and twice on Sunday. Like this is another day at the office for me. So when you have that mindset and you're not fearful of anything, then it dissipates very quickly, in my opinion. But some
How you
Yeah,
heal yourself is the same though. Like the
mm,
guru would only be healing you through his connection to God.
yeah,
So instead
sure,
of having that connection, why don't you have your own connection to God? That's how you heal it yourself, you know? So
yeah, you got to do
it's
it
yeah,
yourself.
and then yeah, when you do it yourself, you're getting through your own karma, you're facing yourself and you're not just taking a shortcut. So in the other way, you would think like, oh yeah, he blessed me because he healed me, but maybe that's actually a curse because maybe that health issue you actually were destined to have to for you to get through that karma, but now you gave that to someone else, and now you don't have that lesson to learn from, and now you're probably going to have to enter some other lesson in your life that maybe is a challenge, maybe is a trauma or something, and
Yeah,
now you're going to have to go through another thing. So you're just kind of adding stuff. You know, you can't just get rid of your karma without your free will. You know, you have to have your free will. So if you don't extinguish it, you'll have to extinguish it another way. So for
mm,
me, I'm like, yeah, I have this problem. This is my greatest opportunity so that I can extinguish it all at once.
right,
Like, what like all together, all the different issues, they can all culminate and just get it done now. Right? So then I don't have to focus on it all my life and go through all these different things. I'm sure I'll have other things, but this is like the main one here. This is very challenging, very trying situation. So and it has worked. Even it's been about a year in the Kriya Yoga school, and I've
mm,
transformed myself a lot, you know, and I was getting that energy when it was like Christmas, and the sort of God energy was like, you did well. You need to celebrate yourself, because I was kind of like thinking about, oh, I shouldn't eat this food, or you know, maybe I shouldn't have this. And the energy from most guys like, what are you talking about? You did good. You need to
yeah,
celebrate yourself.
treat
That was
yourself.
amazing what you did. Yeah, treat yourself. Like, be happy. Like you faced yourself and whatever. And so that's like how I can see like that is a real blessing when we have an
yeah,
issue like this. So if I would just like if I would have gone to an Ayurvedic healer and they just would have healed me, okay, I feel better, but my lessons wouldn't have been as quite as profound if that happened.
yeah,
I would just be like, you have a problem? Go to an Ayurvedic doctor. He'll heal you. That's it. All right. And done. And you go on with your life, something like that. But no, when you
Yeah,
go through it yourself, because that didn't work, I connected with all these deities. You know, I grew my connection with God in many different dynamic ways that I would have had without all these issues. So it's funny how that happened. Like around when I found the Kriya Yoga school, my health issues were getting worse. It kind of like just met it at the same time. It's like,
yeah,
oh yeah, now
crazy.
we got him. Now he can't ignore his karma anymore, and now we're gonna give him a way to get out of it. You know?
mm,
And so that was like the blessing for me, where it all happened at the same time. My ego is like, oh, I finally found this, and now I don't have good health to even like feel good. You know, my ego is like, this is like, you know, I'm a victim. You know, what's going on? But from the deeper message, it's like, no, we're giving you a path out. Like, this is
mm,
the issue. Now you can't ignore it, and now we're giving you a path to face your ego. So actually, in the end, it's perfect how it played out. You know, that it prolonged, and I had many lessons to learn and everything. So yeah, it's you have a great that's how I can get over my ego about the health thing, is that I have a great awareness about the benefit that it brought me, you know, spiritually, because ultimately this is just a meat suit. It doesn't matter. You know, it's about the
Yeah,
spiritual lessons you learn,
mm.
and the physical health is sort of, it doesn't even matter at some point, you know. So yeah.
yeah. I think you appreciate it more if you do the work. Like even like if I made my own fortune and I make a lot of money, but it's through my own hard work, I'll appreciate it more than just winning the lottery because I like,
Mm,
I did it. I
yeah,
made
for
it
sure.
myself. But
Mm,
Yeah, it
yeah,
reminds me of the story like give a man a fish, feed him for one day, teach him to fish, he'll feed himself for the rest of his life. So it's the same thing. Like these Kriya Yoga teachings I give you, hopefully fix you for the rest of your life, and you could fix yourself. Like you don't need to go to a guru or ask anybody. You already have the tools in your toolbox to fix yourself, no matter what happens. And Yeah, I like what Brian said. When it was Christmas, he enjoyed himself. When I see Brian at the salad bar at Sizzler, I enjoy myself too.
Yeah.
Like, what are you crazy? We're at Sizzler. Let's party.
Yeah, Bogart out.
But yeah, Bogart. We're Bogars, right? We enjoy ourselves. We have a good time. So have a good time. It's been a long year. It's been a lot of good progress. Let's celebrate, you know?
Yeah. I know a big thing I've been doing is just forgiving everybody. Yeah, like I forgive you. I forgive you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whatever. I forgive you. I forgive myself. And just let it all go. It doesn't matter. You know, you hurt me. I don't care. Like,
yeah, you've been getting holding on to this. What do you call it? Like this anger, this guilt, anything. It just doesn't serve you. So just forgive everybody. I don't care what you did to me. I forgive you. I'm not holding on to this. I'm not carrying this rock with me. I'm not carrying this trash with me. I throw all this away. I don't care. You know? I forgive you. Whatever you did, I forgive you, you know?
Yeah, it's a natural process when you start coming into that state of peace because it's just naturally a forgiving state. There's nothing to hold on to. There's no attachments. And you know what we were talking about before about the angel on your shoulder and the devil on your shoulder. When you have a ideology, opinion, a feeling that what you did is bad and you're bad and I'm good, you're playing that fake false angel on your shoulder. You know, and but that's not real either. So you're growing your identity in the fake angel just so you can counter the fake devil, you know? And so you're not really, you might make a little progress, but it's going to be limited, you know? So you just get rid of both of those fake illusions of consciousness, and then it's so freeing. And that's what you're doing when you say, I forgive you, is you're basically saying, it doesn't matter. I release this attachment.
True.
It's all good. I release it. It doesn't affect me anymore. I move on. I have embraced peace, and that's the only reality. And so that's like true, you know, forgiveness. And that's the one element of Christianity that I liked, is the element of forgiveness, because certain other religions that kind of hold on to, well, this is your karma forever. Good luck, you know. So I don't really like that aspect of some religions, but Christianity, that was a refreshing about where they have this belief of forgiving others, because it's very it's like a weight off your shoulder, you know? Like every moment is different. I'm a new person every moment, and every moment I can transform myself. You know, it's kind of empowering when you have that.
Yeah, and when somebody forgives me, and I know I did wrong, but it feels so good. Like, you forgive me, thank you. I don't know. It works both ways. Like when people have forgiven me.
Yeah, it's just the feeling of cutting that attachment. Like, I know you don't care anymore. Oh, I don't care anymore. Okay. No, I don't have that attachment. Okay, and now I don't have to. Just not to be running in the back of my mind. You know, I'm just gonna let it just extinguish it from my consciousness. And but yeah, if you're not aware, things like this, they run in the background. You know, and if you're not aware of it, they're controlling your life. You know, they're getting you into spirals. So that's why it's helpful that at least at first you are aware, and then you can, you know, really do something about it. So the fact that you're forgiving other people and aware of that, that's really good. Yeah, it shows that you're cutting those attachments.
Yeah, some people hold on for stuff for like that happened 30 years ago. Like, that's a lot to hold on to.
Yeah, just let it go. Sure. There's water under the bridge, clouds passing in the sky. It's over, so no need to let it go. Let it all go. It doesn't serve you in the present moment, you know. So all that.
Yeah, there's a lot of horrible shit in the world, but you just you can't do anything about it. Just let it go. So
just let it go. Just clouds passing in the sky around your mountain.
I feel like this should be a guided meditation for you, Beta Grid Dab. You care about this? Let it go.
Yeah, it could be a new meditation.
Yeah, you know, it's or maybe I'll do it. Yeah. You care about your work? How much money you're getting? Let it go.
Let it go. Well, yeah, you know, in our school we have profound meditations, and I think it's even better in our live class, right? I really kind of get into that zone, you know.
Yeah.
The guided meditations are kind of more like how can I say this? Reading a script, but
Hmm.
in the class I'm going by off the top of my head. I'm just saying whatever comes. So yeah, if you're feeling some pressure, some anguish, some guilt, just let it go.
Yeah.
Doesn't serve you in the present moment. Let it go. Clouds passing by your mountain. Your mountain is solid, grounded, and anchored. It's not affected by the clouds, the rain, the wind, or the snow. Just passes by.
Yeah. So
But
much better not reading a script.
if I if we go into the meditation here on Satsang, we're gonna be blissed out yogis, and it's gonna be over.
Yeah.
That always, that's why I do the meditation last in the class, because by the time we get there, it's no questions, nothing. So emptiness.
Mm.
So this is something weird I've been like noticing, like I don't know, like people that I have profound talks with, I'll like notice like there's like an indentation between their eyes. It's like I can like see their third eye almost, but it just seems like there's more of a, I don't know, it just seems like it's indented more. I don't know. Do you guys notice that, or is it just me? I don't know. I kind of, or maybe I'm just focusing on people's third eyes.
I never really thought about it, but maybe. Do I have an
Yeah.
indentation between
Yeah, you
my?
do. You both do. Yeah,
Yes,
right.
I do.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, above your eyes, you've got that bone.
Maybe I burned burned my third eye and dented it into
Yeah.
all that years of focus, you know, opening my eyebrow chakra, you know, all those ohms have
Yeah.
burned a permanent ohm symbol in between my eyebrows
Or
in
I don't know,
my
maybe it's just frown lines. I don't know.
eye. Yeah, could be. Maybe I'm getting old.
I don't know. My cats
Well,
like
I
it
mean,
when I rub
there's.
their. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I don't know about like the physical characteristics, but I can tell when someone's third eye is open, just based
Yeah.
on their mental outlook on things.
Mm,
It's much more, they're much more open-minded and not I don't know how to explain it, but they can I think they usually have more common sense. I don't know. They can see
Yeah.
around them clearly, you know? And the people who don't, where their third eye seemingly seems to be blocked, they're kind of just in their patterns and they don't really have a real profound reason of what they're doing or what they're thinking,
mm.
you know? And so I feel like that sets some people apart. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like people that I don't think their third eye is open, they're just like, they're not open to anything but their opinion. And like, I'm like,
Right.
oh, I never thought about it that way. Maybe that's
Mm,
a new way of looking at it.
yeah,
But yeah, I just keep myself flexible. I'm not attached to anything. So it's like things are always
true,
changing.
true, yeah.
Yeah, it's the third eye, but also it would be I feel like it would be the crown as well. If your crown is
Mm,
completely blocked, you're not open to the
Yeah.
ultimate possibility and you're confining and you're limiting all possibilities since you're not open to
True.
that. And I can just since I have experience with feeling that opening of the crown, I can relate back to when I was younger, when I felt people doubting me, and I was like, "You don't know what I got." You know, you don't know my
Mm,
ultimate potential.
wow.
Like, it's impossible for you to put me in a box. I know that possibilities are infinite. And I just remember feeling
mm,
that as a child or as a teenager or whatever. I was just, and it was kind of like a chip on my shoulder, kind of an ego thing. But at the same time, I knew that no one could put me in a box and that they didn't know what my true potential was. And I felt that. And, since I opened my crown to some extent, I can feel that as well. Like there's nothing limiting me but myself, because everything is open. You can't confine it in any way. So I feel like, yeah, it's the crown, it's
Yeah.
those higher chakras, right? It's the third eye, it's the crown, when people are just kind of in their rhythm and they don't have any room to change their perspective or be open to looking at things differently. That would probably be an issue there. But how do you open the upper chakras? We gotta open the lower
Start from the
chakras.
bottom.
You gotta open it all, So yeah. But
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
and I was saying before, like I kind of got a message or an impression when I was connecting to Saraswati recently, when I was kind of like trying to project like I need to heal myself. How do I project to heal myself, right? And the message was, you can't do anything. God will do
Mm.
it. You can't, there's nothing you can do. Only God can heal you. And so basically what that was saying is that you need to let it go. Let it go about this motivation. If you just let it go, then true healing can happen, you know? And so that's kind of what we got to do. We just let go and let God, like the monkey said, and
Yeah.
Mm.
Just let go.
don't need to analyze it. Just you just let it go. Yeah. So it seems too simple when you say that, right? It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for the advice. You should be
Mm.
happy today. Oh, thanks for the advice. I'm gonna just be happy now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
It's
that's
weird.
why,
Like the more I let go, the more control I have.
yeah. But it's like that's why you have to do the practice. It's not about talking about it. Like if I talk
Yeah.
about it, it's not that profound because like
Yeah.
anyone can tell you to let it go.
That's true.
Your boss can say, "Ah, just let it go. It's not a big deal."
Yeah. I got to
And you
do the
don't think
work.
he's an enlightened being, right? Yeah. So, but if you do the work, it's more profound about letting it go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and when you
So,
have the tools to let it go, it's a lot easier to like, oh, I know exactly what Kriya I'm gonna use for this, because
Yeah.
it's you look for the opportunities to use your techniques in your toolbox.
Mm.
Yeah, go ahead,
yeah.
Veronica.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking, I don't know. There's like, how do you measure your spiritual progress? I'm just thinking we're like touching on all those things, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's just like you just see how far you've come, but I don't know. How do you feel like you measure your spiritual progress?
I
Could I
mean,
say what Sri M said?
What?
yeah, go ahead.
Because he got this exact question, and he simply said that if you are generally a better person, loving to other people,
Mm,
and if your mind has calmed down, that's how you measure your progress. He just kept it simple.
yeah, yeah, and I would say the same thing. Like, there's really no gauge how to measure. If you're a more
Yeah.
peaceful and loving person, then that's the best gauge of what level you on. I remember somebody asked me a question, "What level are you on?" And I said, "I'm on level 0." Everybody wants like it. How can I say they want to gauge you like like a
Yeah.
scientific message, but there's no scientific message here really. If you're a better person and you're more loving and compassionate and have good energy and help people, then that's the best gauge. So but yeah, I surprised that person when I said I'm at level 0.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want no levels, I don't want no gauge. I am wherever Babaji wants me to be. So you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your scientific meter doesn't apply to me. We're in some unscientific realm that can't be gauged. So like, I am wherever I'm supposed to be, and I'm helping people, and I'm trying to do the best I can. So that is the best gauge.
Yeah.
And you are the best gauge, you are the determining factor for that. So if you ask someone
True.
else, especially someone who is in the mud with their ego, they're just going
Right.
to project on you. So what they say doesn't really matter. It's just their projection. So I feel like
Right.
that's not, I mean, yeah, you could ask a guru would be appropriate. Yeah. So, oh, Beta Guru Dev is right here. You asked a guru. My bad. Yeah.
Yes.
So, I thought he was one of us. No, he's a
And
guru.
I am one of you. Don't project that guru
Yeah.
play on
Yeah.
me.
Don't. Yeah.
Oh
So
man, cool.
if you ask a guru, I just
Yeah.
told you
Oh, there we go.
help as many people as you can, be as loving as you can, be as compassionate as you can. That's the best gauge, like, yeah. But people ask me that all the time, like, oh, you're a guru, you're on the spiritual path. What level are you on? Level 0,
Yeah.
wherever Babaji wants me to be, I don't,
Yeah,
I don't want
I
to.
want less.
I don't want your perceptions to become my perceptions, I'm wherever I'm supposed to be. I'm doing the best I can. But I'm not perfect. I'm a house under construction, like you can see in the Satsang, my headphones die. I get up and put on my headphones,
Yeah.
This is not scripted. We're doing the best we can with what we got. My father used to say, play with the cards you got. And he was like, if you got a 2, just play with it like it's an ace, So do the best you can with the tools you got. I mean, we got many tools in the Kriya Yoga School, so if you're out there and you need some tools, join the Kriya Yoga School. But yeah, so
Yeah.
just do the best you can with what you got. That's what I would say. But you're doing an excellent job, Veronica. So,
Thank you.
keep up the good work. Brian, keep up the good work. All our Kriya Yoga School members and everybody around the world, keep up the good work. keep going.
Yeah. And for
Yeah, I
me, I
think
don't
another
need to
thing.
ask that question because I've been through a lot of things. And so for me, it's self-evident. My progress, I still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
But I can forget about time and space and meditation, and I'm already there. So when I talk to you now, I can say I have a long way to go, but when I'm in meditation, I have nowhere to go. I'm already there, and I don't have any level to get to or anything, like Veda Guru Dev said. I can access that when I need to, and basically, it's just a matter of accessing it in more parts of your life. Um, and I can kind of, I mean, I can kind of compare. Like, I recently went to the Hindu temple that I haven't gone to before, and I felt like before I was getting kind of more. It was kind of more of a extreme sort of energy that I was feeling. It was very profound because I wasn't really there yet. I wasn't grounded. And so I was feeling like, oh, wow, Ganesha, like, wow, that's like really grounding energy. That's like the, the heavenly, divine father energy that's just putting me back in my place, right? It was so
Mm.
incredible. And then when I went there this time, I feel like I already have I have built my own groundedness to a level where I still feel all the energy. I'm probably channeling it better, but the change in energy is not as much because I've already self-realized that in myself and my own grounding, so it doesn't seem like as big of a shift, you know? It's like when you experience that and it's like, because before I went there, I was like crying after I went out of the temple. I
Mm.
was crying like a baby. I was like, it was like, but that was me cutting attachments and releasing from things telling me that's not already me. And then it's just like you just keep releasing and releasing and you keep claiming this energy that is already yours. And then I can understand how people when they connect to a deity and they keep connecting deeper and deeper and deeper, eventually there's no difference between you and the deity. It's inside you and you become it becomes you because you're getting rid of all these attachments, and that's like the path that you take. And so when people say from ego I am God, it doesn't have the same effect, but when you do the practice and you actually do the work, then you can self-realize what that means. It's like you have got
Mm.
you have released so many attachments so that you can create or realize the energy of Ganesha or Lakshmi or whatever, and you can vibrate at some of that frequency more so that you can become that more into so
Yeah, well put, Brian.
So when they say man was created in the image of God, how do you interpret that? Oh, I'm on low
I would
power
just
mode.
I would just say, like in let's say like Tom Campbell's perspective, which I like. It's kind of like we're all a chip off the old block. God is the big everything, and we're just a divine spark. So like Yeah, I would say God is in us as us. So we are God and God is us. So like we and it takes a while to realize that, but we're all waking up to that possibility. When you realize that you are, how can I say, like a radio antenna picking up God's symbol and kind of radiating that signal around, then that's a better way I would look at it. But yeah, I would say God is in us as us. So most people have a dualist perspective of God. God is up on that cloud and I'm down here. But in Kriya Yoga, we have a more oneness perspective. I am God and God is me. I am Babaji and Babaji is me. I am Shiva and Shiva is me. So we are a expression of God in the human form. Let's say it like that. And it's encouraged to see God in everyone in everything too. So like you see God's expression of himself in everything. So how could I say this? God is the animator and I am the animation. So God gives me the energy to transmit the message out. So I'm delivering God's mail and I'm delivering Babaji or whoever deity wants me to deliver their mail. I'll take all their mail and deliver it.
Yeah.
So all these practices in Kriya Yoga kind of opening up your crown so you can get the pillar of light, the direct message, the I don't know how you would the stream of consciousness into you as you. So
Yeah, I
but
like what you said, the radio signals. I don't know that one. I don't know. I got that. Yeah. And we're all picking up different stations.
Right. And before, maybe it's not coming in very well. You're like, I kind of
yeah,
feel it,
Yeah,
but
I needed to
it,
tune it.
it's kind of
yeah, I need to tune it a little
staticky.
better. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of white noise here, but then you keep
Yeah.
going and it's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I'm feeling it more. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Uh,
Um, I don't know. I need some Vishnu inspiration. Do you have any Vishnu stories?
Well, my how can I say the incarnation of Vishnu I resonate with the most is Narayana, which is in the temple in the Himalayan mountains, Badrinath. Their deity is Narayana, right? They're Vishnu. They call them Vishnuites, right? So they have like a kind of like a trident, like a pitchfork, which symbolizes their devotees of Vishnu. Like Shiva is like 3 lines across, right? So when you see them in this area, so I mean, I have a deep love for Vishnu because you know that our ashram is close to there, and I have some profound experiences. And Barinath Temple is the city that's under Satupan Lake in the Himalayan mountains. So I spent a lot of time with Vishnu, and yeah, I like Vishnu. But
Yeah.
when I in that temple, the incarnation of Vishnu they believe in is Narayana, right? So when you see somebody like walking up the Himalayan mountains, they say Om Namo Narayana Namaha, right? So it's like, and you know, when you go to some place where they believe in Shiva, they'll say Om Namah Shivaya, right? And you'll say Om Namah Shivaya. So it's like victory to Shiva, victory to Vishnu, right? Like we're in the land of Vishnu, we celebrate Vishnu. So, but like stories, I don't really have too many stories.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm more of a Kriya yogi, an action yogi, so I'm not really well versed on the Vedic text and the stories. So I don't really
your name
have
is
too many.
Gurudev. What's going on?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, Ved, because my guru is Vedananda, not from the Vedic text, right? I'm not a Vedic scholar, so.
Right.
I
He
don't
was
know. I've been
Vishnu was on the sea monster, right? He's on the sea monster in the creation story, I believe.
You would know more about that than me. I'm trying to
Yeah,
think. I
because
have a statue of Vishnu over there. Let me get my Vishnu statue.
because he is seen above the sea, I believe, and yeah, he's connected with Lakshmi, and she is pictured as well on that. So
Yeah, so here's my Vishnu statue. You see he has the Kundalini Awaken, the hood of the
Yeah, and all
snake.
the snakes.
I just noticed he had the mace from Hanuman too, so that's interesting.
mm.
Oh, and he has the disc. That's his weapon. What else does he have? He has a conch. I think that's a conch in his hand. Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I
But
love
yeah,
that symbolism of the snakes over the head of the awakened crown chakra. They
yeah,
have.
the
I wonder if they're
awakened
symbolizing
Kundalini.
that because in some Thai temples they have the same thing, but they picture with Buddha.
Right.
So that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the same symbolism like uh your kundalini is awakened, right? Like you're awakened. Like you see sometimes in the pictures they have a sun behind their head, which means they're enlightened being, they're awakened being. They've reached samadhi, higher consciousness.
So
Yeah,
the
'cause-
Trimurti, right? So Brahma is the creator, and
Right,
Shiva is the destroyer, and
right.
Vishnu is the, what is the word? He keeps everything going. I don't know.
Preserver. Preserver,
Preserver.
right?
There we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
observer.
So I feel like so he keeps everything going. I feel like he
Right.
keeps the creation working in the correct way, right?
Right.
So yeah, and also, so isn't he connected with the Sita Danvantri?
Yeah, Dan Van Tree. Yeah, so Dan Van Tree is the healer, the medicine incarnation of Vishnu. So if you have health problems, you would call Vishnu's incarnation Dan Van Tree, which is a healer, like a medicine Sita, they would say. So like
Yeah.
if you have any problems, you would call Dan Van Tree, or you would say Dan Van Tree's mantra, because he's the incarnation of Vishnu of medicine, like the healer incarnation of Vishnu. So some of these deities they have the pure consciousness, the pure energy, and then they have incarnations. So like Vishnu has like Dan Van Tree incarnation, Narayana incarnation. He has a lot more. So there are lower kind of human, more practical forms, and then there's the top of the pyramid, which is the pure consciousness, the divine energy form of Vishnu.
And Sri Ram is
Yeah.
also a form of him, right?
Yeah, Sri Ram, Lord Rama is a form of him too. That's probably why he has Hanuman's mace here. You know, like the mace. Oh, you can't see it. Yeah, the mace of Hanuman. So I just saw that. I was like, oh, interesting. I never noticed that before.
Mm.
Yeah, and his weapon is the disc. He has the disc. So you always see the disc on his finger. That's when you know it's Vishnu.
Mm.
Yeah, I've seen in other pictures, he's holding like a silicon, like something like that's like this, but it's like all, it's long, but it's round. What is it that he's holding? It's something like that in one of his four hands.
Monk?
Like this, the mace, or no?
I don't know, is that, I can't even see that, but it's like it's round, but it's long.
Like that, the mace, or
Yeah, I think it's the mace. Yeah,
That's mace.
yeah.
yeah, that's what
Okay.
Hanuman has. That's his weapon too. Like you always see him with
Okay.
that. So yeah, that's interesting. I never really thought about that too. Yeah, probably Lord Rama and Hanuman are an incarnation of Vishnu in a different form.
Yeah, I'm doing sketches of him. I just need to, like, I don't know, get more connected to him, but I don't know. I'm drawing.
You're doing sketches of Shiva, right? You
Shiva. Yeah, didn't I say Shiva?
you said Vishnu.
Shiva. I meant Shiva. This
Oh.
always happens when I'm talking to you too, but I meant Shiva.
Uh, oh, okay.
I don't know what's
Maybe you should
happening.
do another one of Vishnu just because he's trying to give you a hint there, you know. So
What is happening? Shiva. But I'm drawing him and he's like a beautiful man and I'm just like, what is happening? But he's the visuals, like the moon on his head and I don't know, the
Just,
snakes and the
yeah,
trident.
it's
He's
nice.
got a lot of interesting things to draw on him. But
Yeah, definitely. Oh, he has the drum too, like the drums in his hand.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in some pictures I've seen it's like he's half female, half male. Those are I was
Mm,
thinking that might be a Shiva and Shakti picture might be cool. But yeah, I'm just trying
yeah.
to get a feel for Shiva. So I was just hoping you could inspire me a little bit.
I sent you a Shiva picture, right?
Yeah, you did. That one was really
Uh,
good too. But I don't want to like copy somebody's exact art, so I just kind of I'll take bits and pieces. But
yeah, just like as a reference, I didn't want you to paint that whole thing,
yeah,
you know? I was like,
it's like
it's
a
it's a
lot.
lot of people. Yeah, it's a lot
Yeah.
of people. So I was just like, as the kind of reference of different forms of Shiva, they have what's called a linga, which is like
Oh, I
it's
know what
like
you're
a
talking about.
it's like a circle kind of, right? But
Yeah,
like that symbolizes the creator, because Shiva is the first. Like they call him Adi Yogi, which is like first yogi, the first of everything. Like there was nothing before Shiva, they would say. So Shiva was the first, then all these other deities kind of branched off of Shiva. So they're all kind of forms of Shiva. So and that's
yeah,
one form they always have, like a linga, right? Which is like a curved kind of pill kind of stone that they like to, which they
yeah,
look as a form of Shiva also.
yeah. I see that imagery all over the place. Yeah, I guess that's very powerful.
Yeah, it symbolizes like no beginning and no end. So it has like there's no end to it. It's kind of perfectly kind of pill kind of shaped. And they pour water over it, they pour milk over it. It's called a Abhishekam, which means like blessings to the statue. They do it with other statues too.
Yeah, interesting.
yeah. When I was in Hua Hin and I met that guy who wasn't ready for me, he just has, I think I told the story. He had like some deities and some stuff by his house, but apparently you're supposed to call them if you want to go there. And he was just
Uh,
like in his normal clothes.
Like,
And it was like, oh, this is weird. Just random foreigner is coming here to worship Shiva. Okay. So yeah, he did that with the linga there to pour water over it. And I didn't
uh,
know what I was doing, but he knew I had the good intentions anyway. So I prayed to like Ganesha and Lakshmi, I believe, and Shiva there. And so yeah, it was a good experience. Yeah, when your heart is open, you just, okay, I want to go over here and anything can happen. It's interesting.
yeah.
So you learn, new things and yeah, it's cool. So
Hmm. So, what did Vedmuni think of the Satsang? I don't know. I had a question for him, but I don't know. I'll wait until he comes.
yeah, he didn't come today. I sent him the
Yeah,
link. Yeah, he likes it. He likes sharing. He said he wanted to come back, and yeah, we'll see. I think I don't know what time I think it's like 11 p.m. for him. So
yeah. It's
maybe
probably
it's
pretty
past his
late.
bedtime. Yeah, so we'll see. He's welcome anytime.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to. I don't know. Your name Diksha was really powerful for you. I was just curious what it was like for him. I don't know. Did you get to see him get his name Diksha,
No, he
or
got
he
it
just saw
before me.
yours? Oh,
Yeah, he
okay.
saw he was the one that actually recorded the video of me. So like all those
Okay.
pictures of me in the Himalayan mountains, he took them. And I took it for him, so he has like the exact same pictures. So
Nice.
yeah, I wasn't there for his name Diksha, but yeah, I'm sure it was powerful also.
So, our 1 year anniversary, are you thinking about giving us spiritual names too? Or
Yeah, that's a good question. Like maybe we should take a poll if but if I give our members name Diksha, then I want you to have a name that you're proud of, that you resonate with. So
yeah.
you would kind of tell me, and I would kind of adjust it accordingly to fit you, because I would like our name Diksha to be more of a something you resonate with, that you're proud of, you know? Like most of
Okay.
these gurus, that they'll just give you a name. Like I'm proud of my name, but I didn't have any say in it, you know. So I would prefer our members to really have their say in it. Like that, the Shakti that they carry is carried in the name. So whatever name
Yeah.
best resonates with you, that would be the best way to give name Diksha. So maybe think about it. You think it's a good idea to do it in the 1 year class, right?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, okay. So we would have to ask the other members
Yeah,
what
we'll
they.
start thinking about it.
For me personally, I don't think I want it
I know.
Okay.
because I feel like if I come up with the name, it's my ego coming up with the name.
Mm,
So like for me, unless Babaji knocks you over the head and say you have to give him this name, I don't want a
mm.
name because I feel like I don't want any more ego attachment to anything else. And so that's where I'm coming from with that. So yeah.
And that's perfectly fine too. Like if you want it, we'll figure it out. If you don't, that's fine too, you know. Or if you want it at a later date, that's fine also, you know.
Yeah. Like I don't want to put
Cuz
a date on it, like this date I need to
Yeah,
get the name.
maybe. Yeah,
You
when it's
know,
time, it's
because
time.
that's like a projection. Like I want,
yeah.
yeah, if it needs to happen and Babaji will make it happen, but I don't want to like try to project something into place that shouldn't be, you know. So yeah.
And you
That's
you
true.
never know, Brian, tomorrow you wake up and say, contact
Yeah.
that big dummy Vedguru Dev and tell him to give you this tradition.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, now that I said it, oh man.
We won't be calling you
Oh,
Brian
you don't.
anymore.
So you don't want it. Oh, you don't want it. Well, now you're gonna get
Yeah.
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that kind of happens to me too. Like I have this feeling like, Baba G, I'm done with DJing. I don't want to DJ no more. I don't even want to think about it. Oh, really? You sure?
Yeah, that's
I
how,
got something for
yeah,
you. Ring,
to
ring.
dangle it.
Hello. There I am, you know. So I don't want to put myself in a box and say never, because who knows? Tomorrow's going to be a good surprise again. So we'll see
Right.
what
Yeah.
happens, you know. So I'll keep the door open. I'll keep the light on for you, Brian, and the door open, you know. And maybe I will take we'll take a poll in our Kriya Yoga school and see. Yeah, because I would more prefer that it come from your Shakti, and it represents your Shakti, your inner energy also. So, and only you can kind of tell me what resonates with your Shakti and your energy. I would prefer our members who want a name Diksha to have a name that uplifts their energy. Let's put it to you that magnifies your inner Shakti, your inner energy.
Would you have like a ceremony then, like you had with your guru, if that happened, if you gave someone named Diksha?
Yeah, but it would be more like the Yagna kind of thing, because you're not here in person, so I can't like
Right.
maybe like you saw when I got my name Diksha. It was not really too formal. Like it was more like Shakti path and like energy transmission, but like maybe I'll buy some flowers and I'll throw them at the camera, you know. So
Yeah, we have to think
so,
about how you
I
do
mean,
this.
I would pour them over your head if you were here, or like sprinkle them over your head, but like you're not here, and you know, like kum and like vibhuti and all that traditional stuff. But since our members aren't here, then I guess do it into the camera. But yeah, we could do some. It'd probably be good to do it with the yagna too. So yeah, we could have some kind of ceremony, or we could have some specialized ceremony.
Yeah, I've
Would
noticed
you?
with females they go by Ma or Devi, or I don't know how
Yeah,
do you.
yeah. Devi is like a female goddess. So they take on the the females in India tradition. They take on the Ma, which you see like Durga Ma, Kali
Yeah.
Ma. You know, so they kind of take on the Devi kind of Shakti energy with their name Diksha. Yeah, so like Ananda Ma, you know, sometimes they say Ananda Mai. Yeah, Ananda Mai, you know, like something like that. So they would take on that the feminine divine mother aspect of in their name Diksha to kind of represent that magnify that.
Okay. Yeah, it's a hard thing to think about because there's like 3 or 4 um of them that I really like, but I don't know what the right one is. Yeah, it's a hard yeah.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
think about it.
yeah.
I mean, there's no real time constraint. Like we're like kind of like whenever you feel the time's right, then the time is right.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, maybe it might not be better to
Yeah, I think
rush
Brian's
people into
right.
something. Like
Yeah,
if you feel it, just tell me, and then we'll take it from there. You know.
like my parents named me, but sometimes I wonder if my soul like decided my name. Maybe I named myself, I don't remember. I don't know. That's a question you can't answer, but I don't know. It's just something I was thinking about.
Yeah, it could be. You know, my 15-year-old daughter's named Veronica too, so maybe that was some and I don't know why I still don't know why I named her
Yeah.
Veronica to this day. It wasn't like a planned thing, but maybe that was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a stream of consciousness from above, like you don't understand this right now, but you will understand it one day.
Yeah, I guess my mom was going to name me Rachel or Veronica. I don't feel like a Rachel. So I'm
Maybe
like,
it worked out for the best, you
yeah.
know?
Like,
I don't know if I feel like a Vedguru Dev either.
yeah. Yeah, I guess you just get used to it. Like,
Yeah, you just kind of grow
yeah,
into
like
it.
okay, this is my name. This is my identity. I don't want an identity. Yeah, maybe I don't need a name. I'm no name.
Pure
Yeah, I'm
consciousness.
nothing. I'm nothing. I don't know. We always feel like we have to put an identity on us, or we have to like label ourselves. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. It just looked like it was like a really special thing when you got yours from your guru. I don't know. It looked like a really profound experience for you.
Yeah, it was a profound experience, but it was
Yeah.
unexpected. It wasn't
And
like
so like,
this day you're gonna get named Diksha. It was
yeah,
like
kind of like, okay.
we arrived in the cave, and I was just kind of taking a breath, and my guru kind of closed his eyes, and he kind of woke up and said, "I got a message directly from Babaji, and he told me to give you this name." And that's how it happened. So
Yeah.
it's not like I
Yeah.
asked for a name or anything. It was just kind of given to me at the spur of the moment, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
uh,
Ah, man, I want to keep talking, but I feel like I need to get to bed. Like,
okay, yeah.
yeah.
Well, we've been on here almost 4 hours, and
Yeah.
the first 20 minutes, no one showed up. So I was like, well,
Yeah.
I guess this be the first week we're not gonna have a sad song. And then
You were
Brian
like,
and Paul
Veronica, where
came.
are you?
Yeah. So I was like, all right, well, let me text somebody. So I was in the middle of that. I was like, let's see. I'll give it another 10 minutes. And here we are 4 hours later.
Yeah. So you just have to be patient sometimes.
Yeah. And next week, what day you come back?
Um, so checkout's Monday at 11. So I'll be back. I don't know. It took like 3.5 hours to get here. So I'll probably be back Monday around 4. So I don't know, but I was talking to
For
my roommate and we want to just leave Sunday and just get home as soon as possible. So I want to say Monday, but Tuesday for
okay.
sure.
What day is Monday? Like what
I
day?
think it's the 3rd.
Third. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you get back, we'll set up. I'll walk you through the free
Okay.
Kriya Yoga School, and yeah, we'll work it out.
Yeah.
And yeah, and this week I'll try to have everything ready, up and running to blast off. Like I think I gotta make one more class. I'm making like a beginner's guide to Kriya Yoga, which will kind of show the beginner techniques. Shavasana for the asana, complete yogic breath for the pranayama, Hamsa for the meditation. What else? Mantra japa, Om Kriya Babaji Nam Om, and what else would it be? It'll be I guess for bhakti we'll do like the yagna. I'll show some of the yagna. So and yeah, and
Yeah.
I got all those classes up. So besides that, we're pretty much ready to go. So I just
Okay.
need to, once it's up, I just kind of copy and paste from our school now over to that school. And yeah, and anybody who's watching this on YouTube next week, around Monday or Tuesday, we'll have a free school. So we'll put the link up. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe free kriyayogamasterclass.com. No, freekriyayoga.com. No school.
Free Kriya.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Or you could go to kriyayogamasterclass.com website, and they'll have links to everything there, or you can enjoy there if you want for free. However you want to do it.
Yeah, I think being free is a big incentive because then you can like try it out. But I had a long car drive with my roommate and I was telling her about it. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna check it out." But I think being it free, I don't know. There's no like, I don't know. It's more freeing, I guess. Like, okay,
Yeah,
they don't
so
want anything from me.
no friction. We don't want anything from you. Try it out. See if you resonate. If you don't, that's fine too.
Yeah,
You know, it's not for everybody. So, and if you want to learn the techniques more, then come up to our Kriya Yoga School offering, only $25 a month. Be the best person you could be. That's more important than the money. So,
yeah,
whatever place makes you feel the best, and whatever interaction you want to have, totally up to you. No pressure.
yeah. Like you said, like a lot of people don't even know what Kriya Yoga is, so that's a good place for people to go. Just give them
Yeah,
like a
and it's a good warm up before you go to the main Kriya Yoga school, because once you get there, the Kriyas are just in your face. Like and so I learned some people need a warm up, right? And
Yeah.
we've already been on this path for almost a year. Some people just got on this path, so they kind of need a warm up transition phase before they get into the
Yeah, it's a lot.
because once you get to the school, there's a lot of classes, there's live classes, there's a lot of information. So
Yeah.
some people might need to warm up a little bit to it,
Yeah, sounds good. Just keep going.
Yeah, just keep going. So
Yeah.
maybe if we're lucky this time next week, this satsang will be live on our free Kriya Yoga School also. So all the members can click on the link and join us on YouTube. They won't be able to get on StreamYard because that's for our members, but like if you can comment on YouTube and everything and interact, and we'll have daily Babaji quotes, daily deity
Yeah.
videos. So yeah, it'll all be up and running. So yeah, it should be great.
Yeah, I'll go on the other site and share videos and inspiration.
Yeah,
And
you and Cal and Paul, whatever you post on the Kriya Yoga School, post on the free Kriya Yoga School. We need as much content as possible
Yeah.
in the beginning. And
yeah, I kind of feel like I'm competing with Kyle, but then I'm like, well, maybe this is good. We'll just get more stuff up. I'm like,
yeah, you know what I realized too? Like, school put like a fire emoji next to my name, and I was like, well, how'd I get that? So I asked them, and
Huh.
they said, if you post 10 times a day, for 30 days, you get a fire emoji. So I was like,
oh wow,
okay,
you,
well,
you
what
got a
does it, how
fire.
does how does it benefit me? You can't see it on our school because I'm the owner of the school. I'm not on the leaderboard because I'm the
Yeah.
owner, but like if you go to another place you could see it. So
Oh. Yeah, how, I don't know. Maybe it's just like for your ego, like it lit a fire up you. Like, I don't know.
yes, so if you post consistently for 30 days, you and Kyle will probably get the fire
Yeah,
emoji
look
too.
at all that fire. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I feel like we've had a profound conversation. I always, after we get done, I always like, oh, I wanted to ask that and that, but I don't know. I have a long day tomorrow.
yeah, well,
I
I'll let you get back to it. I think 4 hours is enough. Three
yeah.
hours 51 minutes right now. So yeah, I think we've exceeded our expectations. Because in the beginning, I was like, well, no satsang this week.
Yeah.
I just waited
I was,
around, but
yeah. I was worried about you. I don't know. I had to do I don't know, they had the HR thing and do the W-2 paperwork, and then I had to watch a boring video about workplace violence. So it took like 2 hours to get through that. But I don't know, I got here as fast as I could. Yeah. Out in the Maya world dealing with all that stuff.
yeah,
So here
workplace
we are.
violence sounds like a video I put on when I want to go to sleep.
Yeah. Like, do the right thing. Don't be violent.
Okay, that was
Don't hurt
5
people.
seconds. What am I gonna do for the other 2 hours? Don't hurt people. Oh, got it. I think I know
Oh.
that already, but okay.
I don't know, they drag it out. It was like a 45-minute slideshow. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. You're lucky you don't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm,
Count your blessings.
I'm a free bird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Life is beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm liberated from
Yeah.
the rat race.
Yeah. You don't need to watch a slideshow about how to be a decent person. Like,
I guess I've always been liberated from the rat race. I've
yeah.
never had a regular job like 9 to 5, so I've been lucky that way. So
Yeah.
I've been freelancer, kind of liberated in the DJ world, and the only job I've ever had is a DJ. So I don't know what it's like on the other side.
It's like being in a cage. You're lucky.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm glad
Yeah.
I don't have to
Yeah,
experience
you're
that.
lucky.
Me being a free bird, the cage doesn't resonate with me at all.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to make money, you got to do this. Okay. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, all
I
right.
don't know.
Well, I guess. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. We're just talking about being a free bird. I'm hoping that this works out, just like working like these events, and I can just make my own schedule and just travel, I don't know, the states, and just like go to different cooking events. So we'll see how that works out. So I don't know. And I feel like freedom is kind of like, I want to make a lot of money just so I have freedom, but I don't know if I'm like being attached. That's like being attached to my ego. But if I have the money, then I can like create my own, I can create my own lifestyle. I'm not like tied down to things. So it's something I got to balance, but I don't know, making money, but not being attached to it. But I don't want to be stuck in a job too. Make my own
Yeah.
hours. Yeah. And I don't think I'm going to make a living being a YouTube star. So
Yeah.
we learned that from Chad.
We learned from Chad's
Yeah.
mistakes.
Yeah. He's such a great teacher. Yeah. How not to do stuff. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
All
I guess
right.
we can.
Wrap it up. All right. Well, for all those people watching out on YouTube, we have a weekly satsang here every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're welcome to join us on YouTube chat anytime. If you want to be on stage in the Kriya Yoga School, sign up to our Kriya Yoga School. If next week around this time, we should have a free Kriya Yoga School. So if you want to learn about Kriya Yoga, what is Kriya Yoga, who is Vedguru Dev, how to start beginner guide practicing Kriya Yoga. We have an interactive community with a lot of uplifting videos from all of our members. So we'd love to have you. So thank you for joining us in our 31st live weekly Kriya Yoga School Satsang. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.